There's a big fat one, a skinny one, and a medium-sized one. I love Formula Drift.
No stranger to drifting, no stranger to competition.
That guy stole my freaking ratchet wrench. I see that. That's mine. The pole petition. He rejects your reality and inserted his own. This is a stimulator, right? Pilot.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Clipping Point. My name is Captain Ben, and joining me is Mr.
Till Murphy.
Along with
Till Murphy.
No, you're not.
I thought you were Tim Murphy. I'm Till Murphy.
No.
and
Paul Murphy.
there you go. Perfect.
Right,
okay,
we
good.
go.
I got to fix your camera, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anywho, folks, thank you for joining us on this evening of just
Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Yes, Jubilee.
What happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
I don't know.
We had a great weekend
You all
last
had
weekend.
A great weekend. You abandoned
Well,
me.
that's you had the option to
You
go.
ran away
You
from
had
me.
the choice.
You didn't.
You
tell
had
me
the
what you were
choice.
doing.
You definitely had the option to
No
go.
one told me.
No.
So what did you do?
We just hung out. Well, you know, another Jubilee is I potentially have sold my Z.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So
I
I
tell
put
them about all the problems it has.
it has no problems.
The
We took it.
smell.
I even took him and did some donuts over in the warehouses
Oh,
over there.
really?
Yeah. I took him in there. He's like, "Oh, this is great," you know. And that was on the 93. I figured out the whole how to switch the tune thing thanks to Gabby Garbanzo.
Oh,
Yeah, big
okay.
garbanzo
Gabby
beans.
Garbanzo.
You know what it turns out is that his grandma makes a really good garbanzo stew.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm telling you the truth. He was telling me about it yesterday. He's like,
Ben?
I ate this good garbanzo stew my grandma made.
Ben, fact check.
I have not been
Oh,
Who has
a
not
recipient
tasted of
the
garbanzo
garbanzo
stew.
medley,
Oh,
so
man.
I wouldn't know. So let me check back on you on that when that actually occurs.
all right. Your people get back to
So-
my people and check out the Garbanzo. So, anyways,
So he liked the car? He didn't smell?
yeah, no, it didn't smell.
I don't know. You're smelly.
That's because I fart. But anyhow, no,
It needs the residue.
he contacted me. I've had a couple people. One guy, his son is in the drifting and he wants to get it for his son. He's local, so it's been back and forth. But I've been going out of town. We went to Kentucky, and
Why'd
then
you go to Kentucky?
We'll get there.
We're gonna
Oh.
get there. So we went to
I
Kentucky,
don't know why.
and then we landed, and I wasn't in town for too long. Then I had to fly back out to Atlanta for work, and in between that time, he came on Monday, looked at the car, took it for a test drive with his friend, and then
You said there was
well, I took hold on a second, relax. So he shows up here,
Relax.
super nice guy, like very very talkative. He rides he races BMX, I believe, and he wants to get into drifting. He's about in his mid-30s, and he's like, yeah, you know, I've always wanted to do it, and it's something I want to get into. And he's like, well, can you take me for a ride? So I was like, okay. I didn't want to go too crazy because I had it on the 93 tune, and I had light 93, but I had barely any gas in it. Like I only put like a gallon in it, and I'd already driven it a couple times.
Yeah.
And it was way below E. So I was like, okay, I took him around the corner, and then we went back in the warehouses over here, and he's like, yeah, can you rip it? I was like, yeah, we'll go over here, do it. I took him for a nice good ride so he could see that the steering wheel, when I let go of the steering wheel, still drives straight.
Yeah.
When I mash on the brakes, it brakes straight.
Yeah.
And the AC was working, piping, the AC pipes and that thing. So I took him back there, busted, like a donut in a figure eight, and he was just like super excited.
Yeah.
Came back, and then he's like, well, can I take it for a drive? Because he didn't drive it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, take it for a drive. His friend had a WRX. He gave me the keys. And I was like, yeah, go ahead. So they're gone. So
Even trade.
even trade. Actually, probably his car, because it was like a 2015. So anyhow, 15 minutes goes by, don't hear the car anymore. I'm like, okay, maybe he wanted to take it because he was asking me, how does it ride on the highway? I was like, all right, it's fine on the highway. Is it straight? Because he was just asking a lot of questions. And then apparently he said he used to do body work. He said that car was hit from the side because he said the floorboard on the driver's side is bubbled up.
Oh, really?
I never noticed it because it's in the carpet. He's like, yeah. He goes, I saw it in the picture, but he goes, I used to work for a body shop. He goes, it was definitely hit on the side because it's a rebuilt title.
Oh, okay.
Anyhow, gone 15 minutes. I don't have my phone. My wife, she's paying some bills, and she's using my phone for the apps and stuff. And 20 minutes go by. I'm like, man, he's taking that. So my neighbor comes out, start talking to my neighbor. 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, man, I go, babe, has anybody text me? She's like, no, nobody's texted you. I was like, okay, whatever. So you must be really going for a ride. I remember Alfredo did that to me one time.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna take your car for a ride. I'm like, God, you just gone for almost an hour. Well, where'd you go? So 40 minutes goes by, and I'm like, okay, baby, let me get my phone. They were messaging me through Instagram. And it doesn't alert on my phone. And then so I call him. He's like, dude, he goes, we got lost. We couldn't find our way back. He goes, I left my phone with your address in my friend's car.
Oh.
And they had his and I was talking to him through his watch.
Oh, so they didn't know.
And he's like, oh, call my friend. His friend had his phone, but they didn't have my number. And they could. He goes, we were messaging you through Instagram and Facebook trying to get a hold of you. So they were lost, but they pulled the car over because it was so low on gas. They're afraid they're going to run out of gas.
Oh.
Right. So they're gone for 45 minutes. So and me and my wife, we have our salsa lessons we do at the dance class, and we're supposed to be there.
You fired it up with salsa?
Yes, I fired it up.
I don't know. I didn't know how the
Salsa.
salsa lessons got involved in here. So
You gotta let me develop.
develop the story, buddy.
Yeah, well, you stop interrupting me, and then I'll get to the point.
Well.
Anyhow, so the point of me bringing it up is that me and my wife had to be somewhere. What, are you gonna put like a screen in and start puffing on it? Oh,
that's what this is. It's not a
no,
crack pipe?
it's not a crack pipe.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Okay.
good Lord.
Too bad.
Anyhow, me and my wife were supposed to be somewhere, and we had like at this point we had 5 minutes to before we had to go there, and he's like, I want it. I was like, well, wife, happy wife, happy life. I said, we got to go. Unfortunately, you were gone for 45 minutes. He's like, okay. And his friend's like, dude, I'll bring it back Friday. We'll come back Friday. It's like, all right. I was like, that'll give me time to put the E85 in it. I have like some control arms, some spare parts. I'll put that in the car and everything. And I was asking 12, and he's gonna get it for 10. So he's getting a pretty good deal. He wanted the Advans though. The first thing he said when he got out of the car, he's like, where the 3 spokes? I'm like, they don't come with the car. It's like, oh man. He goes, that was one of the things that really caught my eye about this car was the 3 spokes. I was like, you're not getting them. I go, I'm gonna take those to my grave. And then Leslie jumps in. She's like, you ain't getting those wheels. And I was I was about ready to tell him, I was like, if that's a deal breaker, see you later. I was like, you're not getting the Advans.
You let go of them once.
And I just put brand new tires on the front of those wheels. So he's got brand new tires on the front, and the tires in the back are like 60 or 70% left still. Anyhow, he was he said he wanted it, and then he was going to come pick it up tonight, but one of the headlights is out because they're new headlights, but water was getting into one. For some reason or another, Nissan thought it was a good idea to put the ballast on the bottom of the housing.
Oh, Nissan did that? I thought that was the third
No,
party.
My original ones were like that too.
That makes sense.
And that's why
Nissan
old
does a lot of smart things.
Yeah, very very smart. Anyhow, actually we saw the Nissan amphitheater. I think the Nissan sign was falling off, so they must have put that on too.
Anyhow, bring that up.
Yeah. So the ballast is at the bottom. So if water gets in the headlight, where does it going to go?
I got to know this story. Wait, hold on.
No.
Sounds a little juicy.
I'm just setting it for
there.
later.
Okay.
Anyhow, so the ballast hit at the bottom. So if moisture gets in there, it's going to go where? To the ballast. So it blew out the ballast. So he was like, hey, I've got in trouble running headlight. It was a new car. He goes, he's got to drive all the way an hour up to West Palm. He lives in not Loxahatchee. He lives in like a little north of Lake Worth. So anyhow, he's like, yeah, or I think around there. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. So he said, I'm really afraid to drive it. He just gotten off work. So he's like, can we pick it up on Sunday? Meanwhile, I have this other guy that wants it for his son. But I guess whatever he raced BMX, that race he was supposed to be in got canceled. So he just texted me, say, hey, listen, my race got canceled. If we could do it tomorrow, that'd be great. So I said, all right, let's do it. I put the headlight in, tried to see if I can get the headlight to work for him tonight. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But you're going to see my car at drift events. And I told him, listen, find a warehouse somewhere, because where he lives, he said there's a lot of open areas because he lives way out west, he said.
Yeah.
I said, get some cones, start with donuts and figure eights. I go, if you get
just go to Learner's Day at OSW.
And I told him that too. I said, let me know if you're ready. I go, I'll get you.
Honestly, well, no, they're all packed up. They're all.
But he can get. There's private days. He'll find a private day.
Oh yeah. Tell him to get on the Orlando Drift page on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
There's
tell him.
always somebody.
So I said, go to Orlando, get in some private days, and go have a good time.
Yeah.
But when he called me today, it almost seemed like he was backpedaling.
Yeah.
He's like, I had some time to think about it, and if I put if I invest $10,000, I was really looking to spend $8,000. I'm not going any lower than 10. This is it. This is not going. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, you're lucky. I was originally planning to take the seat and the steering wheel out of the car if anybody talked me down from 12, but I was like, nah, I'll let it go. So anyhow, he sounded like he's back, but he's like, no, I definitely want it. I goes like, 'cause let me know. I got somebody else that wants to buy it for their son. But no, he said, no, tell him. He goes, don't tell him it's mine. It's mine. I'm definitely getting it.
Mine.
Yeah, it's mine.
well,
Fine call, dude.
Money,
Yeah.
money is mine.
Well, exactly.
When the money is in my hand, that makes it mine.
Well, I was going to have the other guy come tomorrow afternoon and take a look at it. So
Yeah.
if he comes and by before that guy has a chance to offer me more, then it's his.
Yeah.
First come, first serve. So anyhow, if you see me straying off on my phone, it's probably because I'm looking at E30s. Because I want to buy.
That's not productive.
It's not productive. But I'm going to buy an E30.
Well, it's funny talking about
I am selling
E30s.
an E30.
Hang on. We got Brian Sermon. He was in the chat who was saying hello, and maybe he could help you find some E30s on his area, perhaps.
I
So
did
maybe
see,
touch base with them.
I did see a couple. Now I do. So my budget is 5 or 6. He's probably going to laugh, but it's doable because a lot of these, because a lot of these E30s have been. I messaged a guy like the convertible one.
Yeah.
He's had that car on offer up for over a year.
Well, nobody wants to buy them because they all have problems.
They don't. What?
I mean, they had.
No, the M20 is a solid motor.
No.
Anyhow, I'm gonna go look at the Vert because I actually like the Vert. Now the front bumper sucks. Actually, I probably should send these to you. Right? Not right now. It's too late. But it's
You can send it. Just send the email whenever you can.
Well, I probably should have planned that out. Anyhow, it has that stupid M3 front E30 bumper.
We don't plan anything.
Oh
We're always late and we don't plan.
no, we've been on time, buddy. We've been on time.
Okay. What were you
Anyhow,
saying?
so I would have to change the front bumper and put some nicer wheels on it, but the interior is really nice.
I think any E30 you find for $5,000, you're going to need to do something to.
Well, I know I'm going to do something to. I'm not asking for something mint, but I'm really thinking about. There's a lot of guys that have had their E30s up on the webs.
Going to lowball them all.
Yeah, and lowball the nice ones and see
If
if
you're
anybody
going to
takes.
lowball them, I would go to them and just say, "Hey, look, I'm only going to give you $5,000."
Well, some of this thing is some of the ones I want to lowball are like in Orlando. So I
have
can.
Brian do it for you.
Brian.
Lowball
There you go.
a bunch of people.
If we find somebody, there's a guy with a K series up by you that has a K swap in it, but he's asking $20,000 for it. He'll never get it.
Yeah, no, that's not.
It's a white one.
Well, he may. I don't know.
So offer him 5, Brian. Go to him and say, "Hey, listen, I'll
got
give you
5
5.
grand
I got
for you, buddy."
$5,000 for you." See what he says. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. All right, Brian, I'll be contacting you. We'll get together once I have the cash in my hands. But as you can see, I got some parts for my car. Started ordering all the exhaust parts.
What is this? What's that thing? I'm
So this is I'm doing 3-inch and I'm doing oval.
I think I need to.
I'm doing oval exhaust.
What is this though?
What the heck?
So
You ran this over?
No. So this is the Amazon oval to round adapter.
So they put it in.
look how well it lines up.
So they put the other side. They have a round tube. They put the one side in a vise and they
just squished it
down.
oval around. That's what they
that's right. It's oval around.
So that's
So you're just gonna fill the hole with a little
you're-
bit of weld.
yeah. So I'll just squish it a little more. So all I was gonna do is I was gonna tack the ends and then use a hammer and bend.
Oh, there you go. You know
bend
what you do is just
the-
tack
the
here,
ends
tack
and
there, and start hammering away.
Start hammering
until
away. Close the
Yeah,
gap.
yeah. Close the gap.
Close the gap. Anyhow.
Do you have a picture of what I just purchased?
I'd have to look it up.
That's gonna be.
I will.
Yeah,
We're gonna
relax.
save that.
Stop banging the table.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyhow, so I got my
Thank you.
oval exhaust. Jackson got me Turbo Smart. We kind of owed it to me.
Yeah.
A tile was in the shop
Oh.
that I bought and disappeared, and you can't really get tile anymore. So now I got Turbo Smart. So I got that. I could do my exhaust. Got a little flex pipe. Got some clamps. Got some more stuff coming. So yes, it's gonna happen. My goal is to have this started up before the end of the year. If I can get the engine running in November, would be ideal. But I gotta get this cash, head over to Jackson with a long list of parts, and just go at it. I think the next hurdle I have with this car really is the axles. That's going to be my next hurdle.
I say you get the bronze at E30, take it over to Jackson and do everything over there.
The what?
Get the bronze at E30 for the guy that's trying to sell one for
Yeah.
$5,000. Give him
Yeah.
4. Take it over to Jackson's and put everything in it. Everything that he has.
Hmm.
I think that's
Yeah, just throw it on lift and just put
Yeah.
everything in there real
Yeah.
quick. I gotta go check it out.
Let's
You
leave
want
it at Jackson's for
you want to go check it out tomorrow?
No, I have to take Cora to the Palm Beach Zoo.
Oh.
Let me know though.
I will let you know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so
that's what's happening.
that's
with
why
that?
it's a week.
So,
it's the day of Jubilee.
somebody is buying their way into the Jackson 5.
Yeah, somebody's basically buying their way into the Jackson 5. Well, it's not the Jackson 5 now. It's like the Jackson 8 now.
Well, okay. Well, people keep buying them ways in. So.
Yeah, they buy. Yeah, buying their ways. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, exciting.
Is that going to disrupt the team structure?
No, I don't see why it would.
Okay.
I mean, they did welcome people.
They turned it from the Jackson 5 into the Jackson.
This
8.
guy will
I don't
probably
think-
actually show up all the events. I don't, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's the. But anyways, and shout out to Scott because he's working on a custom.
Scott from who?
Scott. Well, I'm gonna get Scott from
sorry.
Grip Royal Steering Wheel.
Okay.
I sent him our drift session graphic. He's gonna etch drift sessions in a wood steering wheel.
Ooh.
I bought that wood steering wheel perfect for the E30.
Oh yeah,
Perfect-
that'd be nice.
perfect for the
Yeah,
E30.
that would be nice.
So he's gonna, and I'm getting custom drift session buttons. So I think I'm just gonna order. I'm gonna get the 20 stickers, and then I think maybe we'll do like a sticker giveaway or something like that. So get some buttons, and people can order drift session buttons. So I got the round logo. It's gonna go right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So that'd be pretty cool, right? Because I have to print out 20 of them. That doesn't include the
I
buttons. So I
understand
get the
stickers. You're
the
saying
sticker and then the button sticker.
the button sticker.
So
it's got like the
it's
embossed.
like the gel.
It's
Yeah,
embossed.
exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
okay,
So you get the
gotcha,
button
gotcha.
sticker, then you stick it on the button.
Ah, that's how it works.
So he's gonna print out a sheet of the drift session our round logo as a button for his steering
Does
wheel.
he have the legit logo?
Yeah, I sent it to him. He got it.
Okay.
Yeah, he applied to it. Now he asked for the straight logo without all the graphics on it, just a plain.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent that to him as well. I don't think he replied to it yet because I know he got the round one and he got the initial one, and I sent the one with just the straight cuts,
Mm-hmm.
and I sent those, but he hasn't replied if he got those yet. I'm sure he did, but that's gonna be exciting.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a nice steering wheel because I'm losing my Sparco steering wheel that I've had.
Oh,
I've had that Sparco steering wheel.
you
for
sure? Does he
12
still want
years.
it?
Huh?
Does he want that steering wheel?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Does he know? Does he really want it?
Does he know?
You can trade him. You can give him mine.
No, it's fine. I can let it go.
I have a Sparkle seat, so I kind of want your steering wheel.
Oh, you want my steering wheel?
Ask him if he has any attachment to the steering wheel.
Okay, I can ask.
Yeah, say
What do you steering? What do you want? You mean your
give him my grip royal.
your forced
My
Forstberg. Forstberg
Yeah, I hate Forsberg.
Forsberg?
and I drive around with a Forsberg steering wheel.
Okay, I'll
in my
ask
car.
him.
Yeah, ask him if he want a Forsberg.
Yeah, if you could bring it over to because he's coming tomorrow. You think you could drop it off here so I could show him the two, and I can ask
It's over at whatchamacallit. I'll have to.
at Mom's house.
Yeah.
Well, if I get some time in the morning, I'll try to
Yeah.
go over
See
there.
if we can grab it off there. Either way.
So, anyways,
That's interesting.
yeah. So Grip Royal getting a custom steering wheel
That's cool.
for the E30. I'm not buying. So that's how Brian. That's how dedicated I am. I am getting an E30 because I'm buying a steering wheel, especially for the E30.
Yeah, you've already got the steering wheel for it, so now you have
I have to buy it.
You have to buy an E30,
Right.
so you don't have any choice.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay, so why were you guys in Kentucky?
Wait, hold on a second. Is there something
wait.
else you want to talk about?
there's something
I
else?
do want to bring up something that was just recently announced about an hour ago.
An hour
Let me
ago.
just pull this up over here.
Oh,
Oh God, it's back again.
Right.
Oh, that's
How did they way back? I thought they got rid of this.
Right, and Klutch Kickers announced about an hour ago that the official layout for round 4, and it's recreation, or actually not recreation,
it's
just
the same thing almost, isn't
Wait,
it?
why is it back?
it's essentially the same layout as round 2, but instead of the last part of the course being an inner clip, it's a outer zone.
Okay.
And yeah, because apparently the original layout that they had in mind wasn't safe because of how they had the drivers coming around the infield again.
Right.
And there was no way to put the barriers in a way where it's going to be safe for everybody. Something
Why
like that.
not?
I
Why not?
already know the whole details. But point of the matter is, round 4, recreation of or rebirth
I
or
guess it's better than the one that they were supposed to do, but I wanted a bank to bank. I thought that we could do that.
You know, and I'm sure they have had to thought it. So if they come around, do the bank, right?
Yeah.
And then come across the infield, transition through the infield, and transition into one of those inside turns,
Okay. That's
and then come off. So it'd be less turns, but it'd be long sweepers. You think that's not enough transitions?
I don't understand what you mean.
I wish I had a pointer. Okay, so start where they're starting now, right?
Okay.
Right, okay.
They go, instead of going into the infield, hit the bank.
Okay. Go
All
around.
right.
Okay, and then when they
Down
come
in.
around the bank, then they come down, go straight across, and go make the
Oh,
like you're
go
going back
straight
to the start
across.
line, and then make a right and go through the infield to the right.
Yeah, but then you have them crossing the line that they came in on.
Well,
Yeah. That was their problem. They don't want to cross. They don't want to cross the line of the driving
The
zone.
infield.
yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's okay. I don't think anybody liked that. I think everyone hated that.
No,
Layout.
it wasn't that
No.
one. It was
No,
actually
this was round 2 was the layout that had Alec pretty upset. He said it wasn't able to tread that whole
Well,
outer.
that's just one
well,
driver,
that was,
though.
yeah, no, that was he was trying. They were saying you don't have to get that close to the markers. They set the cones off the road, and he was like, he just for some reason had it in his mind he wanted to be like inches away from him.
I don't know.
But they told Will said that they weren't faulting you guys. If you guys
It
were
wasn't
put
a
off, that's
bad
fine.
layout. It just, I don't know.
Well, that's the layout.
Then again, we
Right.
never got to do it, right? So we never.
We did do it.
No. I mean, we never got to see it all the way.
Oh, correct. Exactly.
So I guess this makes sense to redo it, right?
No, it is.
Right.
I think the outside zone, ending in an outside zone is going to be better because
It's gonna put you into the wall. It's gonna be fun.
no,
a lot
it's
of
gonna
carnage.
put you into the wall. No, it's going to cause them to like throw it out.
What
wide
happens if it
towards the end.
rains?
It's
You know-
not going to rain October 21st and 23rd. It's not going
There's
to
a
rain.
hurricane out there right now. You know that?
You know, this is over a month away.
You know that hurricane could sit there for a month.
Oh,
It's Klutch Kickers, damn it! Shut
the hurricane's hard parked in the water, just waiting. It's like,
We've
I'm
never
coming
known.
to you guys.
seen a hurricane do this before.
It's unprecedented.
It's just spinning in circles.
It's doing donuts in the water.
Oh my god!
Okay.
The hurricane is doing a takeover. It's a hurricane takeover.
Oh, curses. Okay, well, all right.
That's dangerous.
Look, it's like Paul mentioned. It's we're gonna be finally able to see like
How this
this
plays
layout, played out throughout the whole event. Not like what happened in round 2 where it
Yeah,
got rained
that came-
out and
yeah,
they had
that's
to
true.
shut it down early. We had
true.
7 drivers that were in contention for the
Because
win.
it was putting together a pretty crazy matchup.
Oh yeah,
So
it was looking
it was
very
looking
stacked.
to be like really cool, but then we got the big letdown that we couldn't do.
Yeah, and they just had to. So, yeah, I guess
So maybe
that's
maybe
not a
this
bad
is the
idea because
best
didn't get
idea.
to run a full event on that layout.
Correct. The other positive is you have a lot of the drivers already have data on this layout.
Mhm.
They have information on like, okay, well, how do we attack
Familiar,
it?
right.
How do we deal with, for instance, the hump going into
The hump-
outer zone number
hump.
1?
The lovely
hump, the
lady,
hump.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And
Where is the hump? The hump is on.
But now
coming off-
they're going to be going the other way around the hump, though.
The hump is. They're going to be going through the hump the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
well, but this
that's
is
not where the hump is.
no, but remember, right here it was messing up a lot of the drivers
Yes,
going into
was.
it.
Yeah, it was. It was a odd transit, odd initiation that was throwing them off. Well, it looks a little straighter. Last time I remember them like going down and then straightening and then initiating. This looks like more of a straight run up.
Yeah, it looks weird. It doesn't look like the same way they did it before.
Well, let's see what happens.
Looks interesting.
I know Zach's had his. Poor guy's been getting an earful, right?
Mhm.
About this layout.
About this layout?
Just about
Let's lay it
the
down.
Well,
Round
not
four.
just Zach,
No,
the
the
whole
rump.
crew.
Yeah.
Just because they put up they put up a post asking people for their opinion on
Yeah.
on the layout, and just everybody kind of just chimed in. And
Zach, I see Zach punching somebody in the face real soon. You heard it here first.
okay,
What
all right.
happened? Zach punched him in the face. I knew it. I knew it.
Paul's gonna scream out, "I was there!"
I was there.
Yeah, this could all be
Let me
solved.
know, Zach. I'll have your back.
This could be all solved with the poll petition.
The poll petition.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's
because
do
not
it.
only would it light in the mood, it would, like Paul said, it would just eliminate.
Yeah, you don't even know you make a decision anymore. So
People
just-
be like, poll petition? He gets the win.
No.
Or he'd be like, no, give it to me. And then you
Give me
probably,
that song. I'm
give
gonna do
me
this.
that
I need a win.
Yes.
I can't.
It's like,
I can't let this guy lose.
no way.
Actually, we got a question in the chat from Ryan Deering who asks, "What's the main argument against this layout?"
I don't really have a main argument. I think what
I have
the
an
argument was, I think a lot of people want the bank.
Everybody wants
Yeah.
the
A
bank.
lot of people want
All
the
the
bank,
big boys
and
want the bank.
they don't like coming because when you're, it's not a flat straight run up.
Correct.
So the initiation people kind of complain about because you're coming
Yeah,
down
nobody
off the
liked
bank,
that. Nobody liked that.
coming down off the bank, and then you're kind of doing whatever to your car and then going into it. Other than that, the other complaint like Alec Hunnerdale had was
He said
he
you can't. He was saying you can't. The way that arcs.
the
Outer zone 1.
outer zone,
outer zone
two, outer zone two. Yeah.
The way that arcs, you can't fill the whole section in. You can fill a section of it in. You can't fill the whole section in.
Yeah, that was his.
That's what he was upset about.
because you either come in, you go out and fill out the first part, you dive in a little bit, and then fill out the end.
You can
But-
either fill in the first entry in the middle, or you can fill the middle and the last part.
Right.
To fill out the whole piece is like almost impossible. And that's what he was upset about. That's why he kept on dropping a tire every now and then.
So those were the complaints that that I heard.
The outer zone needs to be shrunk on that. Like what they have on the first
Like-
outer zones,
Yes.
opposite.
Right. Okay.
That's the way it should
right.
be.
So, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, like right here.
See
So
how
it
short
starts-
that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at the other one. The other one's way too long, so they should shorten it. And because it just didn't, Alec was trying to hit it, and he was getting pretty close.
But he was getting frustrated.
He was getting
He
frustrated.
felt it was unobtainable.
Okay. I forgot about that. You're right.
Unobtainable.
Unobtainium.
What was that?
Unobtainium.
Pilot. So that I guess that is the best answer I can give you there, Ryan.
Okay.
Good
I
question.
think so. It looks like a nice layout.
I mean, it looks like a lot of fun. Good close tandems. It
but
was good tandems.
They want the they want the same setup, but all
On the back.
imagine just expanding that out to the bank. That's
Yeah.
what they want. They want bank to bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they want. Flip that or upside down, and
Well, but see,
expand it to the bank.
that's you're wrong because they don't want
Oh,
the
boy.
bank. Because from what I understand, from what I've heard, a lot of drivers complain about the bank.
Who?
And I'm not saying who.
Oh.
I'm just saying a lot of drivers
Oh,
complain about the bank.
You got somebody people on witness protection or something.
No, but okay. So
No.
even if you watch D-Spared, what's his Brandon
Whitnick.
Brandon Whitnick's video, he talks about attacking the bank and that he's not really used to riding the bank and how he
Is he used to banks?
was
Though? Is he used to banks?
No, when you watch his video, watch the video right after last round. He talks about how he was having a hard time not pulling the e-brake because on the bank you really don't want to pull the e-brake. You really shouldn't. You should go full throat.
While you're going into the bank or on the bank?
The initiation.
Okay, all right.
Your initiation, you should not initiate with an e-brake on going into the bank because you need that momentum. You really don't want a decel going into the bank.
That
If you watch a lot of, well, I guess it depends on a driver, but
right.
Depends on how fast you're going.
That and also the
Well, that's
power that you're putting out too,
right.
because
But if you have low power, chances are going slow. You pull that e-brake, you're setting yourself up
of
for failure.
course.
He even said, watch his video. If you watch his video, he said that the times when he would initiate without using the e-brake, he was higher on the wall and it felt better. Because you really don't want to lose any momentum. You want it, especially if you have a low horsepower car.
Oh, of course.
Look at Jeremy Lowe. He didn't initiate with an e-brake when he was on the Miata. He just threw that thing sideways.
Oh, of course.
So that is the ideal way, in my opinion, is the ideal way to initiate into a bank. So a lot of drivers weren't doing that, and we saw the results because a lot of them were on that lower line or dangerously close. A lot of zeros in qualifying because of that
On the last round.
on the last round.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this layout, I'm not a big fan of it, but it'll be interesting to see it play out the whole way, assuming we don't have a hurricane sit and do a takeover. What? Just I think it'd be funny.
Yeah. Hilarious. Again. No.
It's a cursed layout.
No.
Paul's gonna be like, the weatherman strikes again.
Dun dun dun.
Hey, I did predict that. So, anyways.
Okay, well, anyhow, We'll see.
So it should be
Yeah.
interesting. It should be good.
Ryan Rowe, would be cool to do a late Apex inner clip. For me, it's the one layout I'd feel good about in a low power car. I think. We also got
Apex.
another comment from Darren Bridget, who writes, "I think first corner bank, leave the rest as is."
First corner. Okay. Yeah, I like that. But that isn't that how they did in round 1?
Round 1, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a round 1 layout.
I
but,
love the round 1 layout. I think that was the best one.
Yeah, but Ryan has a point. For the lower horsepower cars, this is more ideal. There are better tandems on this layout, and there will be closer tandems
There was.
throughout the course. So
Brian Boccia, I remember, did very well on this layout
yeah,
against Dirk Stratton, right?
Yep.
Didn't he?
yeah. Well,
Was it?
Or was that-
that was
last
last
round.
round. That was last
No,
round.
there was somebody he went against. Was it?
Oh, I don't remember.
He was against somebody, and I just remember it being ridiculous. I thought
Well,
it was
if you
Dirk
give me a
Stratton.
moment, I could look it up.
Okay, I'll give
But-
you as many
But
moments
to
as
Ryan's
you
point, yes, I agree. For lower horsepower cars, and when we say lower horsepower, we're talking the 2 to
wants
4,
lower
maybe
horsepower?
500. That's the lower horsepower. Then you have the
need. Get rid of
higher.
all the lower horsepower cars.
Huh?
Get rid of all the lower.
No.
Get rid of them all.
Shut your mouth.
They
And
all
then,
should be burned.
So we can burn your cars too?
Burn mine. Mine I already started burning mine. I don't know. I have a video of it if you want to light it on fire.
No.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I like that the fact they're changing it up. So this will be good. I do like the bank. It's exciting to watch, especially when you get into higher horsepower cars and are on that bank and they're riding it.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to have different layouts. So this will be
Yeah, I
good. This will
guess.
be good. This will be good. It's going to be good. The driver's going to do it. But I think actually Paul's right. I think if they
Ooh.
shortened.
Save that.
Oh, you want to save that as a clip?
Oh, no, not that.
No, me neither.
Paul's right.
Round 2, Brian went up against Dirk Strand. And then last
That's what I
round,
thought. Yeah.
you had Brian go up against Miles Flick.
So I'm right again.
And then he went up against Alec Hollandale, but
Okay.
lost
All right.
against.
All right. So
against
that's
him, yeah.
right. So Paul's
Again.
right twice.
Jeez. I'm on a roll. If I get this hurricane thing right too. I
Oh,
don't mean,
shut up. Anyhow, annoying.
anyways, so this
and-
layout is amazing. You love it. You want to
No, I think your idea is a good idea.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say you're right, but I think it's a good idea. I could still agree with you without saying you're right. Making that second outer zone shorter.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
It must be.
No, it doesn't have to be.
I will make it be.
Anyhow,
So what comments do you have on that? Can you see?
On the Instagram, sure.
Yeah.
On the
let's
layout.
read the comments.
Uh,
Let's see what
can't
we
see that.
want.
Michael
banks.
SC writes,
See,
we want
they
the
want
banks.
the banks. Damn it.
Taylor,
Give them the
Taylor
banks.
Drifts,
he's
Taylor
trying to read
Ray
it.
writes, much better for learning a new car.
Ah, that's right. Taylor Ray will be in the vet.
Okay.
There's that Matt Shulman wrote, thank you.
Yeah, Shulman doesn't like. He's not. He prefers the infield than the bank.
Let's
wait.
see. Well, don't recognize anybody else, and
Round 2.
no
is the-
more
I
comments to
that.
load up.
Round 2. Is that you?
Oh,
That's Sado _ Drift 86 who wrote that. Round 2 is that you?
Huh.
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Interesting. Well,
that's the layout.
that'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, it's about a month away.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a surprise for that.
Yeah, we do. We're gonna.
Oh yeah. Well, let's not review anything just
Oh,
yet,
we'll
but
wait for that. Okay.
yeah, let's wait for that. But folks, I believe spectator tickets are available already for that event, so be sure to check out. Go to clutchkickers.com for information.
Comes
Not
with a
only
free
for
Doppler radar.
what?
Comes with a free Doppler radar.
What a cool guy over here.
Man.
Jerk face.
Yeah. So for hotel accommodations, all that information, whether you want to drive or spectate or be a vendor, just check out clutchkickers.com for all of that.
I wish we could get more vendors at Klutch Kickers.
Yeah.
I always want to buy something. I have nothing to buy.
Well, no, they have Klutch Kickers is there, and actually,
Yeah.
there are some vendors on the other side of the track. Bridge
Really?
Moto's there. Yep,
Oh, he's on the other side?
they're on the other side.
Oh, I guess he.
That's where a lot of the drivers and stuff
More
are.
stuff over there.
Well, maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be this round. Maybe hopefully for at least for round 5. Now that's the thing too is round 4 and round 5 are 2 weeks
Hey,
apart.
all I know is we're at round 4 and we still don't have an after party place. What the hell? Who is in?
Good call on that one,
come on,
Paul.
dude. What the hell?
I don't know what's going on.
We're about to get
That's
to
a
the
great
best
question.
They
time
don't
of
live
year.
around here. They don't live around here, so they don't have
There's like
the means
screw it.
to
no after party.
investigate. They should put that on Jeremy Lowe's shoulders.
Every time he asks Jeremy Lowe, he's like, I don't know, I don't go out.
Yeah, that's true. But remember, the island was an hour away, right? So it doesn't have to be that close. As long as like half hour away, there's got to be a place. Maybe we should try to find it.
You can go to St. Petersburg. I mean, it's not that far.
Wait, you've been around that area, Paul. What was there anything you found along the way
There's
there?
a lot of stuff over and on the island
That you can get all those crazy drivers to.
right now.
Okay, so there you go.
I don't know where you're gonna get everybody to go.
We'll have to look. Maybe we'll start finding something. We need like a roadhouse, like an old
Roadhouse?
Western style where it's like, you ever seen a movie Roadhouse? Patrick Swayze, old movie.
No.
They would get bar fights and everybody's and
So,
they had
wait,
like
so
they
you
had like
want
a
a bar
mechanical
fight to happen?
and they had like a mechanical Bronco and it was just all
Yeah.
craziness
Oh.
and
That sounds good.
yeah, that's what we need. And
See
we
if
have
I
maybe
find
we get like a wrestling ring.
You
And we
have
get
you have
Michael
a weird
Huncho
obsession.
Elsie out there, and we'll have him drop some atomic elbows.
You have a weird obsession with like fights. You want to see people drill down.
I
If
wanna-
it's not in Formula Drift, it's over here at Klutch Kickers.
I want
What's
to be
the matter
like
with you?
I want to be able to like everything just going crazy and just sit back and like I'm in a movie. Like, this is so cool.
Or are you trying to be a bookie so that way you can
Yes.
accept bets?
I'll take him. Who you want? $10 on him. $10 on him. Who's up next? No.
Well, we may have to refer to Ryan because he says he knows a good taco spot.
Oh, really?
So,
But can it handle all this
There's got to be a lot of
haphazardry?
yes, a
Right.
lot of cars, a lot of people,
trailers,
trailers, just issues,
helicopters.
helicopters.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
right.
if Cletus is going to come,
Might be
he's
helicopter.
flying his helicopter. That's the
Okay.
craziest thing is watching him fly out,
Yeah. All right, guys.
fly in. There he goes.
There he goes. All right. I guess we're just gonna hang out here.
Yeah. We got another comment from Alex Pack who wrote, "This track needs a FD New Jersey crossover style setup."
So
Your thoughts?
Well,
Isn't that what we talked about?
they didn't originally have a crossover style.
Right. Yes. Originally,
It was from what I understand was
That's what I'm saying. They
the
should
way
just go-
the barriers had to be laid out. They didn't want to use cones because the way the inside of the infield lays out, that the wall laying out the track with walls was better for the drivers to navigate through. I think originally it did have. Do you have the original layout?
What I think
I'd have to look it up.
Well,
was
those
some-
are two options before.
Right. Let's see. Scrolling.
Is that it? No.
No, that's not it. Remember, they had to adjust to the round 3 layout as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna find the original one because they probably pulled it down. But
Maybe when they first announced.
I do believe the original layout did cut through and across the infield.
that's the
Let's see.
round one layout.
Round 1. Okay, might be getting close. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. I think I've gone too much.
No, you got to keep on going.
Keep going. Okay.
Let me keep going.
Yeah, because he didn't have his car built. There's pictures of the car built.
That's round one right there. He's way too far.
No, all the
There we go.
Oh, there you go. That's
That's
it. That
the-
was the
yeah.
original round 4.
it looks like a wet noodle.
Or pretzel.
Yeah.
Or yes,
That shit does
yeah.
look like pretzel.
Yeah, it's
Or actually, if you take the line out of the
crisscross
center,
applesauce.
actually, if you take so the line that comes down from the start line.
Oh, this is the
if you
penis
end,
one.
yes.
This
So
is the-
if you
it's the
if you
penis
take that
layout.
line out right
It's
there,
the penis layout.
it looks like a little bloop.
Yeah, it's a little penis.
Tiny boo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Remember, they have
That's-
an episode about this.
No, yeah. Did
Little
they
penis,
really?
Little penis episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's why it's too provocative.
They try to cross it out.
Wait, that looks like a man.
Ooh, don't want to do that.
Woohoo.
It's a family show.
Yeah, it's a family show. But anyhow, that was the original round 4 layout. And it's just too many. That's a lot of intersecting.
That's like cross.
Yeah, that's way too much intersecting.
That's,
If they would have now, what if they took that same start layout that we have now and kept that ending?
Why not? Yes. Why?
Keep the
start at the bank. No.
Keep the start
No,
that they
screw
have
that.
now. No,
No,
not
screw
there.
that.
Not
Screw
that start.
that.
Move that start all the way up.
No, what I
Here?
think.
No. Yeah, okay. You know how the start is now? They took the start line. Right now, the start line's on the bottom, correct?
No, the start line's over here.
Right now,
That's where the start. Now,
new
right,
layout-
exactly. The new
Right.
layout. So that's what I'm saying. Start it like they're doing now. So basically, if you took that little line, it would still and
Have the
kinda,
start where
lifted it up.
how it's gonna
Have a
be.
start where it's going to start now, and then finish out and do the whole thing, the rest of it. Like come deep into the infield like that.
Oh, okay. And then the spaghetti thing.
Yeah. So start where they have it, the current start line on the current layout that they decided, but leave the rest of it like that.
Paul, your thoughts? I don't really know.
Then it just. I think the main part is they're trying to not have indecent exposure, so they're trying to cross that little image out of there.
It could
think
be
you're
just
right.
it could be a uvula.
Uvula.
A uvula.
That's what we argued last time. It's a uvula. You remember? Anyways,
It's a uvula.
I like. I don't know. I think that would have been a better layout. Actually, honestly, I don't know why they just didn't do
Because
that.
of the walls, because all the walls and intersecting and stuff, they just couldn't.
Well,
do
no. I'm saying exactly what we talked about. Moving just the start line to the top
Mm-hmm.
and leaving the rest the same.
I don't know.
Because I thought that'd be interesting.
Well, time still a month away. Anything can happen.
No, but they already called it.
Yeah, it's got 4
They
weeks.
called
man.
it a couple months ago too, and they undid it.
All right. So anything can
So
happen.
we can undo it again.
You just want anarchy, Paul.
I just want
Yeah, he
pure
does.
anarchy.
Yeah, he does. He
I
likes,
want tornadoes doing takeovers in the Caribbean.
Yes.
Ryan wrote, one of the issues too, can't remember what round, maybe the last one, crossing back over your initial line was nearly impossible with the pro-ish cars, just a huge wall of smoke. This one would work, going to default to SBB layout, keep it simple.
Yeah.
So
Leave it the way it is. It's fine. But it's always good to think outside, well, the penis.
Oh man.
Alex Pack wrote, as long as we get to see Will do a hair flip.
Ooh,
Oh, okay. Now
yeah.
that's getting a little provocative.
We get like a slow motion
Slow-mo,
camera
right.
on Will and to just like,
Maybe we can
can we just get a fan and like just we hide it with a camera and just as he's judging, you kick the fan on and he just like, what's happening, man? What's happening? And then you slow motion, like, oh, and then you have a slow motion capture him. He'll never know, and then we could make that happen.
Yeah.
But you have to have like a button, just like a random fan kick on it. His hand, and he just like, whoa. And
His hair blowing
his
everywhere.
hair blowing everywhere.
It's majestic.
It is majestic.
You'd like to do a L'Oreal commercial or something like that. What was it?
Herbal Essences.
Herbal Essence. Yeah.
Herbal
Essence,
Yeah. Ooh, ah.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll talk to the people involved to try to
Yes. See
make
if-
that into a reality.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay.
So what's next on the docket?
Well,
Because I brought nothing to the table.
oh, it's okay. Well,
You
you
brought all
do.
this
You
stuff to the
do.
table.
You just didn't
You
know. Yeah,
brought
with
your
that.
oval adapter
Yeah.
to the table, which is pretty
This-
horrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Really bad.
Well, the round is round.
I don't know. It's not even round anymore because
That's
it's flared out.
That's what flux cord wires for, my man.
It's like it's angled out
Just
now.
fill it.
I don't even know if like they did this. I think this side's squished more than that side. I don't know. Yeah, a hammer will do it.
Yep.
Yeah, just squish it in there, tack it everywhere.
You're the one that said order from Amazon.
Because I know you're cheap, so I figured.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Cheap on certain things.
All right. So let me begin by just pointing out guys, just be sure to like review your emails, because I almost made the mistake of just treating like this random email that came in as spam, and I almost went to like automatically delete it.
Oh,
But
this-
luckily, like I
how?
stopped myself
In the drift
to
settings?
really no, my personal one.
Oh, really?
To really kind of like read the title, because immediately like I stopped and I looked, it said drift announcers, and I'm like, I don't normally would get an email titled drift
Drift announcers,
announcers.
yeah.
And I was
you
just
were
like,
more like, how did they find me? I've been using my VPN. I've been secret all this time, and now they found me.
No, the jig is up.
maybe it
no.
was a bit of panic on my part. I was just like,
Yeah.
because I've had just weird like emails, but whatever. In any case, so that's where I actually started to stop myself, to look into it, and then I was like, okay, this looks serious. Doesn't look like one of those fake ones where
Right.
like, oh, we got your information, and if you want your information to be
yes,
removed,
yes.
please submit this. Please send your this amount to this Bitcoin address.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And,
okay, so you got an email.
Yeah,
and
I
you-
got an email and
you didn't delete it.
didn't delete it.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank goodness. Even though it got sent to the other one, but it's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. And then so that sort of became started the that was actually an invitation for us to go to Holley LS Fest. Now,
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys told me this. It was nice.
We
of you
did
guys.
tell you.
Yeah, a week before.
No,
like, made it pretty
no.
much
I
impossible
told you
for me
like
to go.
2 or 3 weeks before, but we didn't know that
So you
far in
guys
advance
got
either.
invited to what?
So what did the email say?
well, I don't recall the exact context, but basically it was saying like, hey, we saw your work. We're like looking to, we're looking for announcers, and we're wondering if you'd have the time and availability to be able to come out to Holley LS Fest. And so I was just like, oh, okay, well, let me go ahead, check with him, see how his schedule is and how everything's gonna, how that's gonna work out. And luckily, nothing was.
Well, I actually did. I had, shout out to my wife because we had planned like a weekend
Right.
getaway and we had booked it and reserved and we were supposed to actually go away that weekend. And then I was like, and I told her, I was like, well, no, babe, we had this weekend planned already for like 6 months. I said, we're going to go. I won't go. And she's like, no. And she actually, we postponed it. We set it up for a different date. So thanks to my
No, he
wife.
set up on Klutch Kickers date.
And
Little does he- little does he know.
don't listen to him.
Little does he
Don't
know.
listen. Anyhow, so I did actually have plans, but my wife being awesome, she was willing to reschedule our plans for a later date. And go ahead.
Yeah. So we got into the works of trying to make that happen, and luckily, wait, what?
He's making whip sounds. How am I whipped?
No, nothing. I didn't say anything. I don't know
no,
what
you
you're talking
didn't
about.
He didn't say anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
something.
his way to get out of that one.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Like
We're
he's
on
any-
to you, Paul.
Yeah, I'm on to your.
I'm gonna
Okay, go ahead.
rewind the tape.
Yeah.
Rewind the tape. I was right again. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and so just to kind of like skip over that part, we worked it out, and essentially we just got made the opportunity occur. Now, for me, it was sort of a bit strange because I do recall hearing about this event, but I didn't really know much about it.
No, I mean we're not really huge into the V8 scene. You're a diehard Toyota guy, and I'm like a BMW guy, right?
Right.
So the LS Fest, I heard of it, but I'll let you go on. But yeah,
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, okay, that sounds like we'll do it because it was drifting. And who'd the invite come from?
Nick Swan.
So that was pretty cool to have him reach out to us.
Right. And like for me, like I didn't know much about it, but I did know some of it because I do recall some of the Klutch Kickers drivers,
Yeah.
competitors went last year.
Right.
And I recall seeing some footage of it, but it was very minimal. Like you didn't really get a good sense of it. The media coverage wasn't really as in depth as you would get from
There's
like a regular
no
drift
live
event.
stream. Yeah.
Right. And that was the other thing too that they mentioned is like there's no live stream. All you got to do is just go out there and announce it. So really is, I guess you could say it was a little bit less pressure in regards to what was entailed.
Yeah, you can't rewind back and hear what we said. It's great. You can't go back and analyze what we said.
All right.
But also Zach, thanks to Zach too, Zach Poloff. I mean, he was integral in us getting that as well. I think him and Nick Swan were talking. I don't know exactly how it happened from what I understand. I think Zach was a big part of that, bringing us. Hey, what about the Drift Sessions guys? I believe so, right?
Well,
I don't really.
as far as I know,
I
yes.
guess we really don't know,
Right.
But we know.
I mean, because Patrick Gooden was involved, so for all we know, it was maybe a mixture of both.
Maybe they're just all talking and they all
Yeah.
kind of came up at the same time.
Yeah.
You get the fat one, the little one, and the medium one. Well, no, Nick's the fat one. You guys didn't invite me, you jerks.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
we did invite you.
Yeah, a week.
No,
week
we
before
asked
this
you again a week
Wait,
before.
look,
No,
we're
I
not
told you
gonna-
3
We're not
weeks.
going to tell Paul about
I told you
it
3
until a
weeks in
week
advance.
before,
You knew
so
3 weeks
you can't
before.
possibly get a ticket.
You could have gotten a
Doesn't-
ticket. Ben could have got you the ticket.
We're going to fly out of Miami
When you
to
found
make
out-
it even harder.
When you found out, Ben didn't even buy the tickets yet.
Sure.
Anyways, he's a big crybaby.
Anyways, you guys had a bunch of fun. You guys had a bunch. You had somebody.
Yeah, let's
You were
rub it in. So
You
go
were
ahead.
signing
Go on.
people's
Go ahead.
chests.
Let Ben
You're
finish.
right. You're
Yeah,
signing
let-
man breasts.
Let man
Right.
breasts. Yes, plenty
Yeah.
of man
Yeah.
breasts. Go ahead, Ben.
So one thing I do want to mention is that it was like what's interesting is that the people involved with the drift portion of the event, I guess you could say like all of them are just comprised of either Klutch Kickers individuals or people that were involved with Klutch Kickers
At one
before.
point, yeah.
Because Nick Swan was running the line year one.
Right. Webb.
Webb was
Why Webb was there?
Yeah.
yeah
No, no.
Webb
oh.
Travis.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
okay.
Webb was there too. Zach, obviously, Pat as well.
Zach judging this time.
Zach, yeah.
was
So
judge.
that was something
That's
different
cool.
that we weren't accustomed to because
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Zach is always running around, taking care of like I guess you could say he's like the director of operations
Yeah.
over at the Klutch Kicker series. So it was a bit interesting and a change of pace just to see him judging, and I was curious to see how that was going to play out. But it was great to see that he was doing something that didn't require him to be stressed out about
What?
He did
all
mention
those
it.
things.
How many times did he say, "Oh, I love this event," because he didn't
Yeah.
have the pressure
Oh, you didn't
that
have
he
to,
usually
yeah.
has.
Right. But yeah, flying for me, like flying was weird.
Flying was weird.
He hasn't.
I hadn't flown like 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, no joke.
Oh, wow.
And so I wasn't like fully aware of like all the procedures. I was like referring to him. I was like, "This is okay." He's like, "Yeah, you're good," and all of those stuff.
Going through
And-
TSA and all this stuff. It's been a while since he's been on a plane.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not
They didn't
cool like
search
you
him?
guys.
No,
Taking a
he
prop
went right
plane.
through.
I'm surprised.
What
He
happened?
went right through.
Surprised they didn't search him.
Why?
Got the 3 different phones. All of them go straight to Russia. I mean,
Well, they
come on.
don't know where the phones go. But anyways,
Yeah.
so getting on the plane, that was a
Right.
thing. But yeah, I've been doing it a lot lately because of work.
Right.
So it was.
But
yeah,
but
we
do
went
you do you often deal with like flight attendants or stewardesses that just aren't too keen about their job? Because if you recall on the way up, there was one that was like,
Yeah.
"Sir, coach, dad, excuse me."
Are you the coach? Are you the dad? Are you the leader?
What?
The kids aren't listening to me. That's what the stewardess was upset.
Oh, there was
because
a bunch of.
There's a bunch of kids and they weren't sitting next to their parents and they had, I guess, all their toys out. And she's
All
not
their
putting his
toys
toy.
out?
What he had, something. It was like he's
Right.
got too much stuff. He can't have all this stuff there. You gotta put it away. She was upset.
Right.
wow.
So you know how you're supposed to store like your personal
Yeah,
item
store it
below
in
the front
In
seat.
front of you,
Well,
yeah.
apparently it was like too stacked up that it couldn't roll under the seat.
Yeah.
So the stewardess kept telling the kids like, "Hey, you got to take it upstairs.
Right.
I mean, take it on the
Upstairs
overhead
is-
bin."
What kind of plane
Yeah,
were you
just
flying
relax,
on?
relax. All right, so you take it over there.
They spoil this with this one. You
Yeah.
should have been there. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, couldn't
sure.
make it cool.
First
guy.
class. I don't think for the second time I've ever flown first class. Anyhow, so anyways, we get on a plane.
You
so he's
assholes.
getting.
I mean,
Whoa, easy
You
there.
guys.
He's getting a little angry, a little bitter, maybe. You big lemon.
pop your tires.
Anyhow, so we fly
I
in.
call that guy and say, "Hey, the engine's really got low compression. Completely toast."
Oh, come on, man.
You would do
I'm
that.
joking.
I know. Anyhow, so we flew into Nashville, Tennessee,
Right.
and then we rented a car. So when we get there, Ben's like, I got an F2. I got an F-150. It's too big.
Long wheelbase,
Yeah,
long wheelbase, or
well,
something
that's what
like
it
that.
seemed like, but it
You're
wasn't.
right,
It didn't
right,
end
right.
up not being. But he's like, that's too big. I don't want to
You
drive.
bought
this
an
big.
F-250.
No, we
No,
rented. We
no, no,
rented,
the rental
rented-
car.
rented-
Rented an F-250.
No,
No,
150.
Can you stop for a
Can you just
moment?
listen? It's an F-150. It's like midnight or 12:30 at night.
It was okay. So our flight got delayed a bit. It was about it actually took off a little like 30 to 40 minutes later
Why a truck?
than expected. What happened?
Why a truck?
Just
Okay,
quiet.
okay, gotta
So
learn.
then we get there at about like maybe like 12 something, almost 1 o'clock after like arriving and unloading and just
Airport's
walking
dead.
walking over to the rental car agency.
Yeah.
And then we just see this like long line. And we're like, but
Oh,
at the same
that can't
time, I
be
have
good.
the app and I already had like the car already booked.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, why
why
is
am I
it
going to
long?
be rolling around an F-150?
F-150,
It's
right.
like, we don't really need it. It's too excessive. But then I was just thinking to myself, it's like, how long is this line going to take? Because it was
wasn't moving.
packed.
And it wasn't moving.
Right. It was ridiculous. But at the same time, I was looking around the garage too, and I was like, it's pretty empty.
Slim pickings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slim pickings.
Oh,
I mean,
geez.
no Ford Mustang GTs like you were you treated to when you showed up to Dallas.
And he was set
none
up
of
to
that.
where we didn't have to. We just go to the truck and drive away. It was nothing. You didn't have to sign any paperwork. So
Was it a
he was thinking about changing it.
was it a crew cab or was it?
Yeah, it was a full crew cab. It was plenty. It was like your
okay.
truck.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Ben says, "All right, you know what? We're not going to wait in this line." I think we waited for like 10 minutes, and we're just like, "Forget it. We're just going to go." We got in a truck, and as we're walking back, we see this couple getting in a full size Ford Express van, and so Diane,
Like two people.
only two people.
Only two people.
So Diane, she rolls down the window,
Yeah.
and then she asked them, she's
It's like, no, she basically asked them, like,
so
oh, how
how-
long have you been waiting?
Uh-huh.
And then they said, like, pretty much an hour, at least an hour.
Yeah.
Just to get to the point where, to get to the front desk, to then inquire about a vehicle because they'd been waiting there. And then finally they got the car, but instead the only options were those Express fans.
everybody was
that were
getting
there.
Express vans.
Oh my god!
They're giving everybody Express fans. So we drove off. We had the F-150, and it was great.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you guys were going to exchange with them and then get a
No,
van.
no, we didn't want it. He didn't want to drive something as big as the F-150. He was trying to get something like a mid-sized vehicle.
Right.
So we would have plenty of room for you.
If we had got the Express van.
Well, here's Here's the thing. Like immediately once it said, screw it, we'll just go in this truck, whatever.
You're glad I didn't come
The
because I'd be
first
like,
thing-
let's get the Express van. I'd be like,
the
let's trade that guy.
F-150 was just as roomy as the inside of your truck.
Right.
Nah.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Not as much as
no,
the
I kid you
Express
not.
van.
Like
It was
one
bigger.
of the first things I said, I was like, Paul would have loved this
Yeah.
because I mean, it was as if like the trip was meant for Paul to
Show up,
be
but
a part of.
but he wasn't there.
But unfortunately, he just wasn't there
Yeah.
I
because
couldn't get a ticket because the guys told me a week before. So yeah,
No,
It was
didn't tell
tickets
you
available.
before.
Shut
We
it.
told you way
It was
before then.
$500 a
You
ticket.
are a
No, it
liar.
wasn't.
It was
I
just
did.
lies.
it was
Anyhow,
like 4 and
Plus, I was
change.
coming out of Miami. It was like, I'm going to go drive an hour down to Miami.
we all drove together.
He came from Miami.
Well, he lives in Miami, so he didn't come from Miami. He stayed in Miami.
Right.
That's what
He
I'm
went
saying.
from Miami to Miami.
I get you, but
Anyhow,
I
so
wanted to fly to Fort Lauderdale.
let's get back to the point here. You're just way straying off here.
Okay.
So we get the car. We get to the hotel. Unfortunately,
It took like an hour drive.
took an hour drive.
Yeah.
We didn't stay at the same hotel. I stayed at one hotel, and they stayed at another hotel.
So you stayed at two different hotels?
Yeah, we had to. Yeah,
That was a little mix up.
little
It's
mixed up,
not a
but
big
it
deal.
doesn't matter. It was still awesome, and I was in this like frat. It was like right in the middle of like a college campus. So we're driving around at 1 o'clock at night, and you see herds of college students,
Like zombies.
herds, like
No,
zombies.
and this is like at 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
and
Their
they're just
time.
like, yeah, they're in their party. They're going to these parties, like frat parties, like in a movie. You know, like when you watch these stupid '80s movies, and you're like, everybody's in this huge frat house, and everybody's partying. Woo! It was just like that.
That's what they were doing?
Yeah, it was like in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
in
Or something.
Kentucky, though, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
Bowling
Kentucky.
Green,
Bowling Green,
Kentucky.
Makes sense. Okay.
Anyhow,
Right.
so we wake up next
No,
day.
hang
Oh,
on.
okay, good.
There, you're missing a hilarious point that you that happened. So as we're driving by, there was like this group of females that were like going through this house, and Tim screams out like because he had the window down. Someone's getting pregnant.
I was like, oh, someone's getting pregnant tonight. Yeah. Well, that was the second day, though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure. I may have said something else, but anyways, get to the hotel, wake up. We pull up to Bowling Green or the Beach Bend Raceway, and it's beautiful, rolling hills going into it. Now we were forewarned by Patrick Goodman. I don't know his alias.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently that's his
Long story.
Long story. Yeah.
Okay.
So see, you missed out.
That's a lot of things.
Anyhow, he told us that the line gets long. Not so much on Friday. Friday is basically it's a full event, but for the drifting, it's just qualifying, no competition.
Oh,
They only do a
okay.
top 16.
Traditionally.
Traditionally, they only do a top 16.
Right. So this was the first year. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is the first year they were allowed to have more drivers this time. So they had, I think, originally I think they had almost 50 drivers, but I think at the end
wow.
only like 38 or 37 actually showed up or were able to qualify. Or ran qualifying, and it's a banked, but it's very, very minimal bank. Like it was even hard to tell if it was if there were what degree it was.
Slows.
Yeah. So we were there. We were blown away at the amount of people that were there on a slow day. Like we're like, this is a slow day.
Right. But I just want to add that, like, just going into it, like, you wouldn't expect it to be going to a track because usually, like for instance, down here, you would have to like drive out miles away from regular civilization just to get to the track.
Yeah.
But this is like a 2-lane road going through like this like neighborhood for the most part. Then you get to like this open field that's still leading you down this path. And then
10 minutes from downtown.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was great. It was like beautiful just to kind of like drive through and everything. And then once we get there, it was kind of weird because we didn't know where to go exactly.
Well, we ran into Webb.
Yeah, luckily though, when we went to the registration, the person that was in front of us was Webb, and we're like, "Hey, we know this guy.
Hey, this guy looks familiar."
Yeah, and then luckily
He's been there before.
Yeah.
this is like his 5th time or 4th time or something. Well, pretty much like he knew the lay of the land, and luckily we ran into him at that point because he just told us like, well, yeah, just follow me and I'll show you where to go. And he just took us right to the drift pits, and then he just went to proceeded to kind of like show us around.
Yeah, he spent like a couple of hours with us, showing us around, walking us, talking to the drivers and stuff.
Right. Yeah, so it was very good, and really appreciate Webb for taking the time to do that, because if not, I mean, for sure we would have been lost.
Oh yeah,
we would have we would have maybe found it out, but it would have been like having to go through like this other area because again, like there was multiple entrances to get to the track.
There was 2,300 cars registered for the car show.
Cool. 2,300
for the car show.
Registered or that came?
Well, I mean, registered. I mean, say if 2,000 came, that's a freaking lot of cars. And remember, the prerequisite to enter the show or be a part of the show with your vehicles, you have to have some kind of LS, LQ, or LT version.
It's an LS or a current gen LT engine.
Okay, so you have to have an LSX or a.
It can be in anything.
Yeah,
they had to have that in your car to either
Fest,
compete. Yeah, because they have a lot of autocrossing. They had like off-road rally style racing.
Right.
They had a drag strip, and the drag strip backs up right to the road, the drift course and the autocross course. The autocross course and the drift course were in the same area, like the oval.
Oh yeah.
But literally, like you could be watching drag racing and then turn and watch the drifting.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was definitely cool.
That's definitely something I've always wished that you had a venue that could do, where you could have two things going on at the same time and just literally turn around.
Yeah, that's how it was. Exactly how it was. And then they had, so then the way they did vendor row is if you have the oval and then you have the drag strip goes this way. So all along the side was the exhibition center. The exhibition. What do you call it?
They had my exhibition.
Exactly.
That's right.
So they had that going all the way across, or vendor row, if you want to call it that. And they had everything. Speedway Motors was out there. I mean, there was a lot of Mishimoto. There was like all kinds of different manufacturers that were out there.
I was surprised to see Nitto Tire.
Nitto Tire was out there. That was the only tire manufacturer that was out there.
Yeah, that was insane.
So that was exciting to see that. And the drift pits were very organized. They had their own section, and all the drift guys kind of hung out, and it was open so everybody could walk around and check out the drift cars. And we got to meet a lot of I would probably say a good 60% of the field we had never met before.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. So there was a lot of drivers we got to meet and just talk to, and they're all freaking awesome.
Who won?
Oh, no, you're skipping ahead
Oh,
now.
you're skipping ahead.
Do you have any footage from it?
Here, let me pull this up for you guys so you can see what's going on over there.
That's Dirk Stratton. That's where like the where Dirk Stratton was pitted. That's where the drivers' meetings were all held.
Gotcha.
That's Grant Anderson. He was doing great in that E36.
Really?
First time competing.
Doing a really good job. Yep. So we see all these drivers that we don't now. We know that's Josh McGuire.
Oh, okay.
And there's
Jonathan
Nairn.
Oh, he
Cabot
won.
Cardozo here. There's Ethan Parnell. Ethan Parnell ended up he wrecked, but then
Who's that?
that is Brendan Greaves. Brendan Greaves.
Yeah,
He's from
cool.
Australia.
Oh, he just came for that.
Well, no, he moved over into Michigan, so
okay,
he resides in Michigan. But he originally
who's that car?
that was
Shane Whaley.
Shane Whaley.
Shane,
That car was nice.
Nice, yeah, no.
Yeah.
What was it that you said when you were announcing?
Oh, the 4-letter word. I was like, oh, he's out there at Ford Mustang. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the F word. I said it again. 4-letter F word. Hey, it's 4 letters. Starts with F.
That's true.
All right.
So I guess all the drift cars didn't
That
have
car
to
is
have an
nice,
LS
though.
in it?
That car rips. He wasn't consistent, and he was way off, especially towards the last 2 clips. He was way off a lot of his clips, but the car freaking rips and
Did all
looks
the drift
amazing.
cars have to have LS as well?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
you
course.
couldn't
Oh, really?
compete or anything.
Everything that was entered into that event had to have
An L.
some
Yes.
sort of LS.
Car show,
really?
It did
dyno
not
runs,
matter.
drag racing. There was
Wow.
there was a bunch of
Off-road.
E30s with LSs.
They had
I didn't think
they were
about
doing dynos there too.
Yeah, they had
That's
an
pretty
LS in a Subaru.
Yes.
Dude, and it was hanging out the front. Like it looked like somebody literally took the motor and just set it on the hood.
Wow.
And then they had an LS and an EG hatch, Civic
Oh,
hatch.
really?
And they did a good job on that one because the hood closed, it sat nice,
Oh, wow.
and it had a full dash. But I mean, you could see the firewall is all modded. Anyhow, so this is the drift pits. So he was a new driver we got to meet.
That's Gavin Threet.
Yes, Poor
Gavin
guy.
Threet.
Gavin Threet.
Gavin who?
Threet.
Threet.
Yeah, the guy's. Do
Oh,
you
that
want
was
to talk
that.
about it or not yet?
No, we'll get there.
You got okay. All right. So
Yeah, we'll get there.
all right. What does he got?
Let's see. So
Mofongo
So there
drifts.
was,
What's it?
that's Ryan. Crap, I
There's so
I
many
forgot
names
the
for the,
last name.
But he's from Orlando.
You know, it's funny. Yeah, he is
He has
from Orlando.
the
Yeah.
FRS with the LS in it. Red FRS.
There was 2 red FRSs
Yes, there was.
actually.
There
One
was.
was Elliot Rose,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one, if I could just find his name, but no, I happen to have removed it. Wah, wah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, let's keep playing the video.
Well, it's just like separate footages.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
You got another one?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. But the one thing I did want to mention was there was that. But yeah, it was just like the vehicles that were there was just like pretty wild.
Yes.
Just to hang on, let me just grab this. And then I mean even if you go on the
oh,
Holley LS
Yeah.
Fest
Oh,
like
what the
Instagram
hell?
page.
can we talk
A
about whatever?
lowrider?
So that
You-
so there was a low. They were doing a burnout competition, and he was hitting the switches while he's doing a burnout.
Oh, wow.
he
that's
blew the
interesting.
freaking tires off the Daytons and was grinding Dayton.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, not worth the $500. He ended up winning, but not worth the $500 in my opinion. But it was exciting. Oh, look at that! That was a dirt racing, right?
They had
Yeah,
dirt
that's
racing?
off-road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had off-road racing.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Sounds like they had a lot of stuff to
they
do.
did. They did have a lot of stuff to do. There was a really nice
Oh,
Starry
man.
on too.
Damn,
That's nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's actually here.
That's right there.
Yeah, he did the burnout comp. That car was beautiful. I like that car. It's up for sale. I saw it on Facebook Marketplace.
Really?
It said Holley LS Fest Starion, and it had it was I forget I didn't look at it, but I recognized it.
Oh, okay.
I know. There was a look at a tractor. That tractor is awesome. No, the next one over.
Oh, okay.
That one. That thing was bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, LS.
Freaking hell. I wouldn't want to drive that thing.
Yeah,
God.
that thing was nice.
That was a
was cool.
rocket.
Yeah.
There was a motorcycle that was
Yeah, LS
I
was
want to see,
powered.
I want to see the Impala or whatever that is.
Okay. Oh, is he doing the burnout? Yeah, there he is. Look, watch. I thought he was gonna
Oh,
flip when he did this right here. I thought,
yeah.
oh, that car's going over.
Oh, my God.
Burnout had mixed reviews, I must say.
What? What do you mean?
It ran a little longer than we'll get into this right now on the first day.
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
good
we're
Lord.
kind of skipping ahead. But anyhow, do we have so they did qualifying on the first day,
Okay.
and look at the people. I think they estimated over 60,000 people over the
Yeah.
weekend.
60,000?
60,000 people.
Holy cow.
This is a record LS Fest. They've never had this many people, and it rained a little bit. And people, that's one thing we noticed. So
Kentucky people.
check this out. During qualifying, we were sitting there, and Nick Swan was running line, and he's like, "We're gonna get the guys sight lap." So we're in the booth with Pat Goodman, Zach Poloff, and then Brandon Schmidt was one of the other judges. They were like, well, why are you going to stop it? Because usually when a little bit of rain falls, what happens to the spectators? They just disappear.
Yeah.
The spectators, not only did they not move, they barely put up umbrellas. And they just sat there. So we're like up in the booth, and we can't really tell. We couldn't see the rain. It was more like of a mist.
Yeah.
And it was getting over the track, so they had to. But it was amazing that the spectators would just stay there.
Yeah,
They didn't
because
move.
you're like usually one of our cues is just to see the spectators put up their umbrellas and be like, "Oh, okay, it's
okay,
raining,
yeah,
it's
right,
raining."
yeah.
But
They
it's
didn't
just, we
react
didn't
to
see
it.
anything. We're like, "Is it really raining?" And then they were
Yeah.
like trying to find cues around the track. Maybe there's like puddles or something, but it was hard to tell. But there was a moment
People
of
were dedicated, huh?
Yes,
Oh,
people
they
were
were
dedicated
like-
fans. They were there. They were going to get their money's worth, rain or shine. So anyway, we did qualifying, and we got a top. We didn't do a top 32. We just did top. We did top 32.
Yeah, we did
do a
top
top
32.
30. That's right. We got a top 32, and it was really cool to see these drivers to just go at it. There's really not much at stake. There's no points, but still like drive it like with every ounce of their being, you know. One thing that was interesting and that was really cool, and I think relieved the stress from the judges, is right from the bat, they said there are no protests. We don't have cameras. We can't watch it rewind. There are no protests. This is not about protesting and trying to make sure you get the points. It's a competition, but it's also an exhibition. It's there
About putting on a show.
And building new drift fans, because a lot of the people that are watching the drag racing and they're watching the autocross, they're going off-road, they're watching the dyno stuff, a lot of people that come to that event that have never seen drifting live got to witness it live. And that's what it really was about, to bring those different people that love autocrossing and drag racing, even those guys that maybe have autocrossed and never seen drifting live, get to experience live. So it's a great way for, and Nick's doing a great job. Nick now works for Holley, Nick Swan, and they're just doing a great job putting drifting in the putting drifting more in the mainstream with this event.
Yeah, one other thing I did, well, actually to piggyback off of that, I just think that, because one of the first things we talked about is maybe kind of like offering, doing a live stream there, or at least having a replay system for them, but they were kind of like really quick to saying like, no, we just don't have the time for it. And it makes sense, because when you look at the schedule of events,
and the signal's
it's
horrible.
very, very, very tight with how everything has to go. Fortunately, though, some things did go like way beyond the time, like for instance, the burnout competition, like Tim mentioned.
Yeah.
But one of the things that was made very apparent to us was just how atrocious and almost unusable was the cell service was there.
Oh, it's
and
horrible.
when you consider that, when you take into account there's 60,000 people in this one area, that
I
of
couldn't
course
even
it's
text
gonna,
a picture.
right.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Right.
bad. It was really bad.
It was really bad, and just like there was no real feasible way to just do a live stream. There is, but at the same time though, I was thinking about it for a while. It's like I kind of don't want it.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't want it, because then
It
like
almost kind of takes
there's
away from it.
It'll take away from
It really
Right.
does, and it's odd that
and the other part of it is just the whole notion of having the protest there, because then if we do offer the cameras or of some sort, and then offering like replay or live stream, then they'll have the ability to actually call in protests.
Yes, right. If we're recording it,
so
they'll just
then-
rewind it and have to watch the footage again.
Right. So then that's gonna. I mean, because we've seen it before, how it delays things and it kind of set things back,
Yeah.
and then
protests
ruins
and
the
everything,
pace. But because it was just going, and it was a great example, a great argument to avoid having any sort of protest, because the show just kept on going. And
Yes.
the only time that really there was any sort of downtime was really, as usual, like during the finals
Or during the accidents.
or during
crashes.
any major incidents. And well, I guess now we could talk about what happened with that E46 with
Yeah.
Gavin Dree, where essentially what happened was, well, actually,
Do you
I
have
could,
the picture?
yeah, actually, I think I have the footage. I'd have to actually, need some time to pull
that's
that
fine.
up.
Well, why is pulling this footage? So, for the most part, guys didn't have a problem, but Ethan Parnell, he took a slight hit, wasn't too bad. Ended up having issues with, a lot of guys were having issues with power steering. A lot of, there was Tim Whalen. He drives like a 4-screen Chevy Vet, and his car is beautiful, but he had no power steering, so he was having to muscle that car on the track. And they're saying that the Corvette without power steering is like really hard to handle.
steer.
But Gavin Threet, he came around, and I don't know if it's he lost power steering. I forget exactly what happened. I think he said he lost power steering or something, and he ended up going into the wall really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a pretty hard hit. Do you have it pulled up yet or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm just looking still.
Okay, but he was coming around, and I think it was during was it during practice or a battle? I can't remember.
It was during the battle.
It was during a battle.
Yeah.
But the track proved to be kind of difficult in different aspects. One, you had decent run up speed, and it really wasn't that much of a bank, but the wall was very wonky. It's not a straight wall.
Oh, yeah.
So like you got to get close to the wall, but if you get too close to the wall, it's like a saw blade. It's gonna suck you in. But then when you come around at night, a lot of the infield got really dark, so the guys couldn't really see the infield. Sometimes it was hard for us to even see the infield, and then the smoke would stay in the center.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gavin, he took a heavy hit, but thank goodness he was okay, and it just ended up being an amazing event. When we got there Sunday, we were there Saturday. We were blown away how many people were there, and everybody kept telling us that, oh, well, this is the slow day.
You couldn't think of
Saturday was insane. It was insane how many people were there, and there were people just, of course, driving. Zach Calvin was there also. Who else was there from? We had Jonathan.
He was driving, or
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was competing, but he was competing on Cosmo tires, and the tires that they were giving him were just like they weren't even like race tires. They were like regular street tires.
I heard they're pretty. Yeah,
so he doesn't have. That's why he struggles. He doesn't have any traction in that car. You got it, Ben?
Yeah, just give me a moment. Just
okay.
Go ahead.
So Zach Calvin was there, Dirk Stratton. Trying to think. I thought Taylor Ray was going to be there, but he didn't end up making it. And this is actually all footage from Nate. So it was good to see him there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seems like he's traveling to all these events.
Yeah, he's been working hard. Here we go. And that's Elliott Rose, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah. Boom, right there. See that? Just boom.
Ooh,
here he goes. Boom! Right into the wall right there.
Holy cow, why did you do that?
You hit that wall. It's the way the wall is. Everybody says it's wonky. And he had no steering. Right there, he took a steering out. You see his wheel to the left. And he had no steering.
Looks like the FRS also hit the wall. Yeah.
Did it? I wasn't.
Yeah. Watch.
And Gavin was doing really good up until this point.
Watch here, right? Boom. Hits the
wall. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that.
Look at his whole back end is all messed up.
Wow. I didn't even actually realize that he hit the wall also because he was following him too deep, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, so see, that's the drag strip right there, right behind you.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying. You can see it right there.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a great event. Oh, and the bleachers on the one side of the drag strip were from like the old Yankee Stadium bleachers or something, or old Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, they're all old like baseball stadium seats. But that's fun fact that nobody cares about. But I thought it was cool.
I thought it was cool too.
Yeah,
yeah. There was a lot of things that we didn't know about the venue and the history about it. It was just things that we were just finding out there. And
how many times have you been doing this?
Oh, this was the 13th annual LS Fest.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because that's actually one of the questions that we were like interested in inquiring about. And so once we got that information, we're like, oh, okay, we could use it to announce it.
Annual, yeah.
So, but yeah, it was just like
60,000 people.
Oh, did you? How did your? I know you were practicing announcing the names. How did that go?
Okay, so
did it go so well?
So we didn't do an opening ceremony because the burnout competition went out about an hour over time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so people were a little frustrated. The director was a little frustrated because they were going on last and we had to wait for that to
finish.
finish.
What that sounds like?
What's that?
Sounds like County Line and Pete.
Oh, yeah, right.
On the stunt side show.
Yeah, we're going to do a stunt show.
We're going to shut down the drifting. We're going to do a stunt show.
We need to do this. It'll bring all the people. Love it. Anyhow, but so we didn't do an opening ceremony. And I'll talk about something after. So something going on in the booth that was very
distracting.
Very distracting. Very tense. It got very tense inside the booth. And Webb right before that happened. Webb comes up. Webb comes up. He's like, "Hey, listen, they're gonna do a parade lap." He goes, "I don't know what order they are in." So he goes, "Just do the best you can." And it's dark out. And we know at this point we starting to know the cars a little better, but still it takes a while to really know the cars. And some of the cars don't really have much graphics on them.
Yeah,
and they're on the other side of the court track, and it's dark.
You have no camera.
So then Webb's like, "We're gonna do a parade lap." I'm sorry, man. He goes, "They're just gonna be in any order, so just do the best you can to announce them because we weren't doing since we're doing an opening ceremony. I was gonna announce them as they drive through.
Yeah.
Drivers were in a hurry, so they weren't going too slow. And by the time we got away from the distraction and started announcing. Ben's trying to find the cars and pull their information up so I can announce them.
Yeah.
I think I got through like the first 4 or 5 cars. By the time I got through the fourth or fifth car, they were all almost off the track because they were just like they were ready to go. And I like at that point I was like, just forget it. I was like, forget it. And so I did get to practice the way I led into announcing the drivers and giving information while they were going. And at the end, when I announced them when they won, I was able to do it as well, but not the full thing that I originally planned to do, like an opening ceremony, because you have to have an opening ceremony to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But Zach, and I apologize to Zach and Pat and Brandon for blowing their eardrums out because they said I was very loud. So.
Well, I guess it helped that with where we were arranged, the Tim was like in the far left, and I sort of acted like as a buffer. But it would have been better if Paul was there because he would have been a bigger buffer.
But
for the voice.
The first day they had like a monitor, which was just like a regular PA speaker that you could hear yourself because we didn't have headphones. We had microphones.
Oh, okay.
So the second day I took that speaker, it was on the far right because we had it turned completely off, and I was yelling because I couldn't hear myself.
Yeah.
So then I took the speaker, I put it in the corner down by me.
Yeah.
And then so probably a lot of the loudness was also coming from that speaker as well. But if I can't hear myself, it's like I tend to talk louder. So if I can hear myself, so next time
we bring the actual.
Next time we'll bring our headsets because they had a board we could plug into.
Yeah,
right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did want to mention is the drivers are actually there was some prizes on the line.
Yes.
So first place $1,000 and they get an LS Fest jacket with a grip oil wheel. Second place $750 with a grip oil wheel, and third place got $375 with a grip oil wheel.
Give it to Scott,
and
man.
then
Just
giving away wheels.
Giving away wheels left and right, man.
Yep.
Good for him, man.
So when you're looking at the competition, the number one qualifier, Paul, you want to take a guess who qualified first?
Dirk Stratton.
There you go. Wait. Did you look it up?
No.
Oh, okay, good. All right, good.
Oh, wait.
He's very technical.
Yeah. So Dirk Stratton got first place, and I gotta tell you, like the way that he was driving, it looked like it was his competition to win because every battle that he was going into was in the lead position. It looked like a repeat of that qualifying run that he got, which was 97.
He is so consistent. So consistent.
Yeah, he's very good.
Right. So it really was his competition to lose, and it was just the way how it was. And then on the other side of the field, because you had Jonathan Aaron, who qualified second.
He looks
with 94.
Yeah,
he looked nuts at Klutch Kickers.
Yeah, he was. He looked nuts there too, man. The car was so gripped up.
Yeah, I mean, he was just a rocket.
If he didn't break, I think he would have took Adam out.
Yeah, you're probably right because that car was a rocket ship.
He was nuts. Yeah, that car was nuts. So.
Well, I mean, like we mentioned that
Tyler Berry was there too. I forgot to mention him.
Oh yeah, that's
Tyler
right.
Berry and Baby Berry.
Right.
But he had problems with his car. He broke during qualifying. Or did he break during? He broke.
No, I think it was either qualifying or practice.
Practice. He broke during practice, and he was able to get the car fixed. He snapped an axle or something like that, and he was able to get it fixed and get back out and battle it out. So hats out. But then he ended up having another problem, I think. But yeah, it was good. He's got nice.
Cabot had problems too with his clutch, I believe.
Clutch. They poured. So Zach and Pat Gooden, they told him to pour soda on it.
That was Clutch?
Yeah, because he said it wasn't like engaging or something.
Oh, so
there was corrosion.
It was glazed, like it was for some reason it was glazed over. So pouring the acid in the soda does something to the clutch and the pressure plate that it would grab. He said it worked. So, but anyways, yeah, Dirk Stratton qualified number 1.
That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Jonathan Nero was right, qualified second.
Yeah,
and then
Ethan Parnell was looking promising. I think he was like in the first run was like 3rd or 4th. Right. But then on the second run, that's where he crashed.
Yeah,
and then he had that issue. So,
yeah.
One of the other things that I did want to highlight is that looking at the level of the competition that we're accustomed to seeing at Klutch Kickers, it's kind of spoils you, and it sort of kind of like twists your mind as to what your expectations are when you're going into these other competitions.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, like the top contenders were our Klutch Kickers competitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who qualified third?
Shoot, I wouldn't know actually. Now that I think
Because
about
he made it. It was because I know the top four. The final four was Dirk Stratton.
If you give me a bit, I could actually pull that up.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
Dirk Stratton, Jonathan Nairn, and the fifth place qualifier was Nicholas Rodriguez.
That's crazy.
Nicholas Rodriguez was the wild card in this event.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah, that's
took
pretty
out.
crazy.
Well, actually,
What?
I actually have that footage.
Oh, you
ready.
do? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you want me to
In
just
the
play
E30?
that.
E36.
I mean,
yeah, and his
E36?
convertible E36, the drift rod
crazy.
E36. Yeah, you have that.
Yeah, let
When
me.
he
just-
battled Dirk Stratton, unfreaking believable.
All right, let me
Can you play the audio or
no? Yeah, I should be able to because I don't think there's any music or anything like that. Okay, and here we go. See, look at this right here.
Oh, look! Look.
Oh, wow.
Right there with him through that, and then just
Yeah.
transitioning right back on him again.
It's a lot slower of a track though.
It is, but that right there, push it to a one more time.
Yeah, but on that last turn, I don't know how that went one more time.
There was Nick was dropping. He was hitting cones.
No, I'm saying I think I would have faulted Nick for cutting the line. If you go back to the
Well, so they talked about that, right? And you got to remember, it was they didn't have we couldn't see it as close as this,
yeah,
and it was first impression, no rewinds.
yeah,
Watching it, they were like, "Yeah, he cut the line, but it was worth it because how he was able to dive on this into the pocket against Dirk and just ride his door around that first inside clip into the infield." It just they were like, "Yeah, he cut the line, but it was worth it, and he did it well."
Josh McGuire qualified number 3.
Josh McGuire qualified. Okay, so
okay.
yeah, and those were the final four, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Fourth was actually Gavin Treat.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He was in the top four?
he was in the top 4.
Are you sure? He couldn't have been.
No, that's what I'm seeing here. On the bracket. It's
Really?
rather unfortunate, though. I mean, considering how he qualified high and then for him to go out like that.
Mm.
Pretty
No,
wild.
wait. Are you sure?
I mean, I'm looking at the bracket.
Because didn't who
Nicholas Rodriguez qualified 5th.
Yeah.
Then you have who's number 6? Ethan Parnell. Tyler
Right,
Berry,
but he
number
got
7.
taken out.
Yeah, he got taken out there. Tyler Berry, number 7. Then you have Keegan Leap, number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Rose, number 9.
But there wasn't a third and fourth place battle then. There couldn't have been if Gavin. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there was a third, fourth place battle.
But you said Gavin was fourth place.
No, he qualified 4th.
Oh, qualified fourth. I'm saying who was the fourth guy in the top four? It was Nicholas Rodriguez.
You won the final.
The final four.
The,
was
the
Nicholas-
results. So first place was Jonathan Aaron.
Yep.
Second place was Nicholas Rodriguez.
Yep.
Third place was Josh McGuire.
Josh McGuire. Okay.
And fourth place was Dirk Stratton.
Dirk Stratton. Right. Yeah. But Nicholas Rodriguez, like the
Right.
wild card, taking out Dirk Stratton was nobody saw that coming.
Right. And hang on, let me just pull up. So this is actually the one more time battle that happened
Okay.
between both of these drivers.
Yeah. And this was something that they want to but there's no protests. This is the one more time battle between Dirk Stratton and Nicholas Rodriguez. So Dirk.
So,
but look at
Paul,
Nick.
we want to get your take on what happens here.
Who was at fault?
Dirk.
So why would you say Dirk is
Go
at fault?
back. Let me see it one more time. Yeah, Dirk was over rotated.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
we just want to know. That's
So
it.
remember, we didn't have a replay. We were able to watch it like that. There was
And not with this perspective either.
not with this perspective, from a
Not this
totally different
close.
perspective.
Yeah,
So it was hard to see. It almost seemed like they weren't sure if Nick bumped him and caused him to spin, or if Dirk. Well, no. Pat Gooden was like, no, he spun right away. I think
It looked like
for a second that they maybe
definitely
they touch
hit
each
him.
other, but did it
he
hit him
just-
first? But did no Dirk
the
Stratton?
bobble. So if you, depending on where you're looking, if you had a different angle, that bobble that Nick does before he hits him is enough to make it look like he tapped him, then tapped him again.
Right.
So he goes in, he bobbles right here. He like locks up the fronts, and then
Like, did he hit him in the back there?
Yeah,
and then
then
caused
he-
him to spin.
and then he hits him here.
And so that was the judgment went in favor of Nicholas Rodriguez because they said that Dirk Stratton over rotated and was spinning
so they got
and
it
it's
right
slowing
there.
up. So but I mean, Dirk's team
So
did
he
one.
beat Dirk.
Yeah, he beat Dirk
Oh,
Stratton. Took out
wow.
Dirk Stratton in the final four. Dirk
Holy
Stratton
cow,
ended
that's
up
crazy.
getting fourth place. Nicholas Rodriguez taking home
Second place.
no, yeah, well, ended up after
third place?
this. Then Nicholas Rodriguez took out Josh McGuire. Or no, wait. So, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm tired. I can't remember. But
let
look
me-
at
let
Dirk
me-
Stratton
yeah.
now. Like Dirk Stratton.
Yeah,
go back.
Look at that.
He came back with a
aggression.
vengeance, and I haven't seen Dirk Stratton that aggressive in a while. Look at that, right there.
Oh wow.
Look how aggressive.
Yeah, it's
Just right in there.
like- gonna go right through him. God.
Right in there.
Yeah,
That's how he should have been on his
bump,
first round. He
yeah.
would have won.
Yeah, if he would have done that.
And you know what's funny is that's what the judges were saying. Is like that's what he should have done the first time around. He would have won.
And he was just trying to.
And then this
Way
was the third and fourth place battle.
Right.
So he beat Josh McGuire. as well.
No, Josh McGuire beat Dirk Stratton.
Oh,
Dirk
really?
Stratton ended up taking home fourth. Yeah.
I'm not sure why, because that seems like he's pretty far away.
I don't know.
Well,
We'll see what happens.
one of the things that they mentioned, because I spoke to their team afterwards, is that they were out of tires.
Dirk Stratton.
Dirk?
Dirk Stratton is out of tires, so he was basically just running with
That's
whatever
pretty
was
slow.
left. So he wasn't really driving the way that he wanted to, so he was making do with what he had.
Let's see. Depends on how
I love the way the
Dirk-
Oracle lighting sticker looks.
Yeah, no. I hate Corvettes, but he's the only one Corvette I like.
It puts on a sound, actually, not just
His car is kind of nice. Yeah, he's not. Yeah,
He's not in the pocket like
No.
Josh was.
not matching angle. I don't think
No,
Josh is that close either, but,
No,
at least
but
Josh has had the same angle and was.
And then this is the first.
Yeah,
second
it's
place
the
battle.
finals,
Lord,
yeah.
he must have been happy about this one.
But now look at the difference in Nairn's
There,
car.
it's like a freaking rocket.
Look, Nick couldn't surge on him like he could
then he
with
just
Dirk
got-
Stratton
Yeah.
at all.
And then
That
just
car
get-
is a freaking
he
monster. Look
gets
how far
lost.
he just gapped him. That car is a freaking rocket, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like it's like Nick like he took out Dirk Stratton, amazing, and it's like now he's not even in the game.
Yeah, I know. Jonathan just let him.
Yeah, he did. You just see him and like kind of let him get out in front and close the gap. This is so much fun.
Good lord. That's crazy.
So Aaron took the win.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nate
Yeah.
and
That's a
Daily
pretty good
Driver
job.
Media. Yeah, no, he did. He was out there taking footage. But it was a great event, and they were excited to have us out there. Very kind words from Nick Swan and Zach and everybody that was there. So we appreciate the love, and we're just honored to be a part of it, and
Right.
that they want us to come back next year.
I will say that even though it's supposed to be like an exhibition, it still felt serious for some reason.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Well, because of the
just
drivers, the cars.
Right. When you look at the field and the skill level, you're just sort of, you're like, for me, I completely forgot it was an exhibition. I just thought it was just like a
Especially
full
the
scale
Final Four.
competition.
Especially
Right.
the Final Four is like, it was insane.
the way how like it was just how it was stacked and the way how it played out too. Just all these things that you were expecting it to go one way and it didn't, and just the way how Nicholas Rodriguez came about and just with the was a wild card. It was just crazy.
Yeah, it was a good event. So that was our highlight. That was last weekend.
Hang on. There's still some more things.
Oh, what is it?
Oh yeah, I mean, hang on. I mean, let's talk about like for instance the now I guess some tips for people that are considering if you want to go. Like for instance, one of the things too is there's going to be long lines at the venue.
Yes.
For refreshments and food items.
Yes, there
So
are
you
a lot of food vendors there.
Oh, there is a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of food vendors there, but don't.
Is there enough?
Yeah.
Well, no, I wouldn't say there was enough because there was like
long lines.
You know,
we waited like 45 minutes for
one of them, and Tim wasn't happy with the end result.
No.
Yeah, it was that. Like we mentioned before, self-service is bad, real bad.
Getting into the
atrocious.
track on Saturday is ridiculous.
Right. Oh, that's right.
We got there early, but they said it takes. There's only one way in, one 2-lane road in.
Oh wow!
So the line is ridiculously long. So if you're gonna go there on Saturday, it'd be a good idea to get up. If you head to the track around 7:30, 8 o'clock, you'll drive in pretty good. You won't have too much problem. But if you wait till like 10 or 9 or 10, 11 o'clock, it's gonna be ridiculous.
If you decide to go around town and decide to grab something, be aware that most coffee places don't open at 6 a.m.
Yes.
like over here.
Really?
Tim, you
Starbucks
want to?
closed at 6 in the
PM.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Starbucks
When do
closed
they
at
open?
6. They opened at like 8 or 9.
Weird.
Yeah, so be prepared for
Kentucky
that.
time. Oh.
Yeah, be
Did you
prepared.
guys get fried chicken?
No, we
Oh
could
no! But there was a Colonel Sanders
at the track.
At the track?
at the track.
Oh
Yeah.
man!
No,
you
we didn't
guys-
get any fried chicken.
How
No.
dare you guys?
Yeah.
There was no.
When in Kentucky, get chicken.
So by the time we got out, there was nothing open.
Yeah, that was the other problem.
Uh,
Well, there was
Well, I
things that were
understand.
open, but it's
what
very
are these
limited.
frat guys eating at 2:00 in the morning?
Well, there was actually a
Maybe I don't
bar,
Yeah, there
restaurant,
was,
I
like,
don't know what,
restaurant
that
bars
was
and
like
stuff,
down
yeah.
the street of where you were staying at, Tim, right?
Yeah, we ate at one night. We ate Double Dogs.
Double Dogs.
That was okay. It was like it was all right. It was like a Buffalo
Dog.
Wild Wings.
Double dogs.
Yeah, it was. But prepared to also if you're
pilot.
flying in. If you're flying in, make sure you reserve your car so you can just show up and drive away.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait in that line.
You want to show up and drive?
You could definitely stay at any of the hotels that are close to track. They're great. There's a lot of street racing that goes on during the weekend. We didn't.
That's an event in itself.
Yeah.
Go and
Let me
watch
just
the
say that.
track.
Well, yeah,
because
so what
here's
happened with you after you dropped me off?
So here's the funny thing is that like we were just taken aback by the venue and the festivities and all the things that were taking place. And we're like, this is amazing. This is great. Like the enthusiasts were like die hard. It was just amazing. The community that you really got a sense of the community that was there. And I was thinking like, okay, it's got to be all contained in this one major event that's happening throughout the weekend. No, it actually carries on out to the streets. So if you actually go around town after the event, you'll see the gas stations all jam-packed with, LS powered vehicles of all sorts of shapes and sizes. And I mean, it was just crazy how I was driving over to the hotel and I saw going into the first light, I was in back and I see these two Corvettes lined up. And the Corvette to the right, all of a sudden the light goes green, and it's just like takes off, losing traction and it just squirrely and all of that. And I was just like, oh, okay, but that was good, that was fun. But the guy on the left was just there, just driving off slow. I guess he realized. I'm there thinking like, oh, maybe he realizes there's no competition. I'm not gonna waste my gas.
Right.
And then the next light comes up, and it's red, and the Corvette that was on the left lane was still there. And then as I'm pulling up, the guy on the passenger side, he's there doing this, waving me down to pull up. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay. And as I pull up, I kind of roll down the window because, curiosity. And the guy in the passenger seat. Now, mind you, the guy in the driver's seat throughout the whole time, he was like looking at me. He was like, locked eyes. He's like, no. no, like this throughout the whole time, because the guy in the passenger seat, he was like, "Oh, let's do a drag race." I'm like, "Wait, what?" It's like, "Let's do a drag race for 10 cents."
Yeah.
10 cents. I'm like, "What's the matter?" So I started to play along. I was like, I'll do a drag race for a dime and a nickel. And then and again, like I mentioned, like the guy in the driver's seat, the driver, he was like, no, and the guy in the passenger side, he was evidently, under the influence and having a good time.
Yeah.
But obviously, the light turned green. I was like, I'm not gonna partake in this. But an F-150 for crying out loud. I'm not less powered.
And remember, all these cars at the event, they don't leave the cars at the event because it's outside. They all go home. So it's a town full of LS sounds all night long.
Right.
LS.
This is not a VQ meet.
It was,
and that was the other thing I wanted to mention. Thank goodness. I was so appreciative of the fact that I didn't hear or deal or be tortured by any trumpets throughout the whole weekend. Because, good Lord, man, it was a breath of fresh air.
Like,
my ears were just thanking me for not having to be subjected to that kind of nuisance.
Yeah, that was one of the things that he walked away saying is like, you know what? One of the best things about this weekend, I didn't have to hear a VQ all weekend. I was like, yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I mean, Gabby's out there terrorizing the neighbors right now with his zero muffler VQ supercharged.
Hey, man, sounds great, man. This sounds amazing. They like it. They really like it.
He was showing me a video. I'm like, he's like, I'm like, oh my God, Gabby, you're killing people out there. You're murdering babies and all sorts of stuff.
Everybody's dying.
Murdering babies.
But it was an amazing event. If you guys have never been to LS Fest, I say put it on your calendars now and plan to be out there. We're going to be out there.
Yeah.
It was a lot of
friends, leave you because they let you know the week. God. 1 week before the event.
You could have driven up if you wanted to, Paul. Yeah.
We have sleep. No, it was maybe next year. We'll see.
Maybe you don't have enough of notice.
Nope. Not
They only gave me 1 year notice. 1 year wasn't enough. They didn't want me to go. They wanted me to go. They would have told me 2 years. Well,
yeah. But yeah, I'd like to mention it's like really appreciative of the opportunity that we were presented. Can't thank everybody involved: Nick Swan, Holley themselves, Blaine, Zach, Pat, Brandon. All the drivers too for taking the time to to talk to us and get the information. It was a bit of work, just trying to and that was the other thing that we realized is that we're very fortunate to be part of the Klutch Kickers series for so long that we are able to really just pick out immediately, like, okay, what car is what? Like this guy's driving this car and matching them up like that quickly. But it was a real challenge for us, and this going into this event, to just deal with a lot of unknowns and
having to learn the drivers in their cars.
Yeah, exactly. And just trying to and what made it even more of a challenge too is some of the drivers didn't have their names on the vehicles themselves. And there was one person that we couldn't find until I think it was top 32 or top 16. I don't know what. Cole Richards. Yeah. For crying out loud. We looped around the drift pits for 4 times looking for this kid. And then eventually, for some reason, we're like, Webb was like, oh, he's right here. I'm like, wait, what? We've been through here 4 times already. This makes no sense. How come? Yeah. But yeah, we met him 19 years old.
19 years old.
And the kid is ripping.
Yeah, he's ripping. He's got a less powered FRS. Whose car? I forget who told me who's the black one. It's a black one.
Oh, it was a black one?
He said he got that car from, I forget who he said
Ron Ewerth or something like that.
Oh, Ron Ewerth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He got that from him. He bought him. He was in he had an E46 or E36, and the guy was working on it, and at the point they were just there was just a lot of stuff going on, and he ended up just buying his old car. And the car ripped.
Yeah. It was surprisingly for me one of the fastest cars in the field. If he were to go up against Jonathan Aaron, I'd say it'd be a pretty close battle. Yeah, well, it was that
he
that
needs
fast.
a little more. He needs a little more seat time, but as far as the
I'm
car
saying
itself,
outright speed.
The car itself, yes, the vehicle it could keep up. I think with Jonathan Aaron pretty well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was ripping.
It was that, and Takayama
he's there.
was his spotter.
Yeah,
or the wife. I forgot too, but I know that they were both there.
Hold on. He was the spotter or the wife?
Or his wife.
Or
I'm not
his
sure
wife.
if Taka's
Oh, his-
wife
oh.
or wasn't his wife was spotting or he was
My
spotting.
apologies if I misspoke and threw
I'm
Paul
like, this guy
off.
was either his spotter
Or his
or
wife.
his wife.
It's pretty easy to tell. Or is it?
I'm like, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
boy.
whoa.
But yeah, so as I was saying, it was really thankful for everybody involved for helping us with that, and it was a great time throughout, and really just I gotta say that one of the things that really impressed me that I came away with it is just, even though if you're not a fan of the LS or what it does, I mean, how could you not?
I'm not
I mean,
really a fan of the LS.
right? It's not really something that that really interests me.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that just stood out to me was just, like I mentioned, the community,
Yes.
and just the diversity and I mean, it just kept getting examples of, like, for instance, I'd like to mention how none of the spectators like got up and left.
Nope.
And just to see that was just very strange,
Stay to the
because
end.
usually it was just, you see different.
Right.
And
Yeah. Die-hard fans. It brought back memories of Nopi Nationals back in the day. If any of you guys have been around long enough to remember Nopi Nationals at Atlanta Motor Speedway, it had that same vibe. Actually had a better vibe, because there you had like different make rivalries. This was like everybody was there because they loved the LS platform.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it was
It's interesting that
it was
that big of a show in Kentucky, only allowing cars with one make. of
That-
engine.
that was the other
yeah.
surprise too.
It's like we can't get that many people out
if we include everybody.
if we include everyone. Like, how did they do that? Get everybody out to Kentucky with their LSs only, and it's like that to me, it's like crazy.
Yeah, it's
I
the
didn't think it was
same
that
thing,
big of an event.
right?
I mean, I
we
knew it
didn't
was a
think
big
so
event, but I
either.
didn't think it was that
Mike?
big of an event. I knew it was a big event. I just didn't know it was that big of an event.
Neither did we. We didn't realize it. And like I said, if you don't go there, you really can't.
I guess because it doesn't get live streamed, you don't really
Experience.
see much. I mean, other than a little bit of media coverage, really don't know what it is. I guess till you experience it, right? So,
Even the footage doesn't do it justice.
mm.
So that was a great weekend.
So that's
Look,
good
I'm
to
already
know.
looking forward to next year. So I think next year we got to try to get an Airbnb. I think that'll work out the best.
Yeah.
And we can all stay there in one house.
Well, it didn't really seem like there was many options there.
Well, we'll see. We have a year in advance, maybe.
Right, Verbo.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
You look like you're working on something.
I'm just trying to find this one particular photo, and I just hate that it just doesn't pop up the way that I want it to.
It's eluding him.
Yeah.
Find it.
But after that, Tim, would you want to tell us where we went?
We went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Is that what you mean?
Well, there was that, yes.
Okay, then
but
we went to well, because the only thing that was open.
Oh.
We went to Nashville, downtown Nashville. We saw Matt Ginge, or was it
What was he doing?
Mofongo Drifts.
Mofongo Drifts? But wasn't Matt in the
Yeah.
RV there? So we basically got to go down Honky Tonk Lane. Is that what it was?
Were they out there for
Yeah.
the event?
Well, the other out there for the event, and it was at the end of the event. So I guess they decided to drive down. So as we had time before our flight took off.
Mm-hmm.
So we had we ate lunch or dinner in downtown Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and we walked around and walked down the Honky Tonk Lane where it's like country music everywhere and everybody
Mm-hmm.
walking around like crazy. And then we saw them driving their truck and their rig and their trailer
Oh,
down. Yeah. So that was I've never been to Nashville, so it was
Yeah.
interesting. It wasn't what I was expecting.
What were you
It was
expecting?
actually, but it was insanely packed. Like
Really?
insanely packed. Yes. It was like almost like the streets in New York packed.
Yeah.
And I never pictured it to be like that. Only
No,
in that
neither did
one lane, that one main row.
Yeah.
But
One thing.
I know what picture you're looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what
One-
picture.
one
So,
thing-
Yeah, are you got it?
Yeah, I got
Okay,
it.
I'll let you lead into it.
Yeah, so we're there walking around town, and we're like, checking out the
is
venue and things
great.
like that. And then
We're going
I
down an
forgot-
alley. We're in an alley.
we're in an alley.
Cutting
Yeah, but Paul, don't get any ideas now. Relax. So we just made a turn into an alley, and then we're just like looking at just this, these things that are just there, and we're like, okay,
signs,
whatever,
the old
signs.
streets.
And then we come across a restaurant
And I'm
that
like,
that had quite a peculiar logo on it.
Yes.
And immediately I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's this individual. So let me just cue that up over there so that way people can get a quick
It's
look at exactly.
insane, the resemblance. Daddy dogs, that's Paul.
That's me.
That's Paul. That's Paul. Look, it looks just like you. It looks just like you. It looks like you have a beard. It's Daddy dogs. That's Paul.
You guys been holding this for all this time.
Gosh, they took Paul's picture and they made it as their logo. That looks like you. Yeah.
You guys,
Daddy dogs.
good God. So you guys don't invite me and then you make fun of me. God.
That looks like you. That looks like you.
It's nothing like me.
No, it does. It looks just like you. And when you had the big beard, that looks just like you. Maybe not right now, but it looks like you. I'll send it to your wife. I'll send it to your wife. That looks just like you.
Oh, God.
Oh,
So
oh.
what was Daddy Dogs?
It was, they sold hot dogs. Oh man.
Oh, you
We
guys
saw
are
that
funny.
and we're like, that looks like, Ben's like, that looks like Paul. I'm like, it does. It looks just like
Oh,
him.
Lord.
You don't think so?
Wait, and look, I
We'll
don't
take
care.
a
I don't
poll.
care what he
We need
thinks.
a poll.
I don't care
need
what Paul
to- you
thinks.
need to start a
That's
poll.
Paul right there.
You need to
We're
start a-
gonna start a poll. I
Yeah.
gotta put up. You know what? I got on Instagram. I'll put up a story, a poll. I'll put that
Which
logo and his face.
No, this is a poll. Which cast member of Drift Sessions does this resemble? Ben, Paul, or
Oh,
Tim?
of course. I mean, come on. Yeah, of course. It
Well,
looks,
we all have beards.
looks a lot more like
we,
me. Yeah,
we all have beards.
no. Good.
That
God.
looks. That was like, holy cow.
Well, we got to go to eat there now.
We do. It wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't open.
Hey,
long.
maybe you might get a free meal there.
Yeah,
Be
it might
like,
be
hey,
a
look,
thing
it's a
I'm
mascot.
the owner.
Hey, this is my place.
my
They call me
place.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy Dogs. That was that. That was.
He looks happy.
He is happy. He's got hot
He's
dogs.
got wieners in his head.
He's got wieners. He's got wieners for a neck.
Oh man,
That's a good way to end the
Yeah,
segment.
let's end it.
that was great.
Yeah, before you guys have any other
Nothing else.
little gifts from your little trip. alone.
Somebody's bitter.
I am bitter.
You could have gone.
No, I was worked out.
Oh, okay. So at least
I didn't go.
yeah. Next year.
Excuses, yeah.
Next year you can
Excuses.
Yeah, next year.
Next year.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Well, with that said, thank you, folks, for
Daddy
tuning in.
Dogs.
We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope to catch you next time. And yeah, no, 2 weeks from now is
weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah, we should be good, right?
Yeah, you'll be good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, because that's just Klutch Kickers.
Klutch Kickers
with
a month
that,
away.
with it around the corner, that's now starting to set on my mind. But yeah, thank you, folks, for tuning in. Appreciate it, and we hope to catch you next time. Take care and good night.
Good night.